I think it's, yeah. Okay, there it goes. That was my fault. Misconfigured settings. All right, that looks, I think, kind of loud. It's hard to tell. I didn't. When I heard back, when I played it, I just played it back a little bit on a Windows voice recorder. Seemed fine. All right, sweet. So yeah, got Warhammer Battle Sector. If I can remember how to fucking play it. No, don't do that. Shit. It's not what I meant to do. All right, there we go. We're gonna talk about some stuff. Not really, probably not in the manner that some would probably like, because there's some things that I've always, not always, but I've gotten to the point where the importance of discussing them kind of depends, and it depends, especially the amount of control that you would have over the situation or on things. Here, let me fix something really quick. And there we go. All right. Amount of control you have over things, because I've been mulling over a lot of that lately, because I think that's really important. Is understand what you're like. There's so much, only so much time you have, only so much energy, only so much resources, only so much life, and it's kind of really important to really get a. It's hard to measure that out, but really just to do sort of like an inventory on yourself, or what you're really investing in, what's really worth your goddamn time. You know what I mean? All right, come on, guys. Let's skedaddle. Let's get over there. Yeah, team. I don't remember. Honestly, Warhammer, I don't remember much about these. I know there's the Marines, and man, I don't know shit about the lore. Now that I think about it. See, it's like that. It's like, all right, you're gonna die, and then the stuff that you like. How much do you know about that shit? Have you been practicing anything? Like, I don't know. I know it's looking more and more like freedom's not gonna be the cereal of the Nordic, which that's pretty much. I think that's been part of the course already, anyways. Damn, I do not remember how to play this very well. But there's a lot of different ways to look at that shit. One of the biggest things is notice that everyone's majority of things they want to talk about is preparing to try to live. When things are really tough. And one thing that I've always kind of pushed is that in reality you need to be prepared to die. Because no matter how things are going, that is always a possible outcome. I know a lot of people don't like to think about it, but your mortality is always a thing. Like it's always present. And there's damn what when did all three of them get right there? Oh, and they're gonna oh no. Alright, come on, chainsaw guys. You gotta get over here and do some stuff.
Contempt is my armor.
I swear I had more people last time I did this level. So I did do this level before, but My save game got ruined because it wouldn't launch anymore, so I had to get a different version of the game, and then that was just it.
The swarm has no right to live. I am the sword of Sanguinius.
Yeah, I think we was talking about freedom or something. Yeah. No, death. Yeah, death. It's not. Again, it's part of the. It's like it's always part of the path you're on. There's no it not being a part of that. You know what I mean? But one of the things that, well, for me personally, like let me speak from my point of view. So, and also let me make sure that this background music or whatever this is supposed to be is not too fucking loud. It should barely be a thing. It should be just like soft back there, like the soft instrumentals of Apollo. Bro, whoo, they lit them the fuck up. That's good. But anyways, that yeah, it's always a thing. It's always gonna be an outcome. You know, it's just like the whole point is to enjoy some shit before then. Like especially self acceptance. You know what I mean? Like really understanding who you are. You know what I'm saying? And really enjoying who you are as a person, especially the process that you took to get there. Because that's where it all really comes into play is the process. Let's see if he can kill them. Can you
On my
just
honor,
make it easier on these guys?
my vengeance will be final.
And really just enjoying that. Because I see that now, a lot of people, they complain about a lot of the young people because, like, what are they like the? I've never seen it, but like the isekai, I've heard that explained before. Where basically you're just supposed to wake up and be amazing, or some freak accident and you're just awesome. And I can see where they would get some of that shit from, because you look at like a lot of these people who become famous and all that, like internet shit, and they just got all this money and everything out of
What are you
nowhere.
doing?
Huh?
What?
Oh shit! They caught me. I was.
What?
It's the government. No, no. I was doing a stream where I'm playing horrible gameplay, and then no one's gonna see it anywhere, but somehow I'm gonna get flagged and kicked off of YouTube. So that's what I'm doing.
Do what you gotta do, bro. I'm not here to judge.
Oh no, but I was talking about I was talking about death because a lot of people like with certain current events and everything like that, and the discussion is always how to live, how to live, how to live. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but there's one thing: if you really want to get into the mindset of where you're going to be adaptable, where you're going to do that shit, and the one thing you need to do is one, self acceptance is a huge part. Know your limitations and your strength, and two, understand that you're going to die. That possibility is always there, and it's something you need to be okay with
And
because
you want to be that dude. You know how they all want to be told like what to do and just be led by the hand, basically, right? You don't. What you need to understand is that you don't want to be that guy. You want to be that guy. That's the one that you're being led by. So you've got to understand, like the very fact that you're going in this sort of dynamic to look to be told how to live or what to do next or what you should or shouldn't do. Like it's kind of keeping you behind the ball because you need to be that one. That's that guy. That's the leader that everyone's looking to. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
I get
yeah.
what you're saying.
Anyway,
No, I
because
understand.
I understand advice is cool and good and shit and whatever, but like I think like isn't it like rite of passage, I guess you could say, to like have an idol or a master or someone you look up to or someone you aspire to be, and to one day be that guy or better. Ideally be better.
That's
Yeah, I'm just
no,
talking
no.
shit, I guess.
You would think, but that's what I kind of always have thought it was kind of funny, because everybody swears up and down they're this protagonist and they're this badass individual and everything. But if you pay attention, at the end of the day, we're all still human. And I noticed that there's a lot of people, when they don't know, when they're like kind of lost in the weeds, they just sort of look for some shit. They look for some people just actually look for like a little bit of guidance. They're like, hey, I don't know what the fuck's happening. Can you let me know what the hell's happening? and then they
But
get
that's your
it.
call to action. That's your call to action at that point. Like there should be that realization of, oh shit, what if I never have somebody else to call on? Maybe this is my moment to try and sort this shit out myself.
Oh, if
Like
you don't
that'll be a
have
call to action
anybody,
for me.
then
From my opinion and from my perspective, that's how I'd look at it anyway. Just saying.
well, if you don't have anything, you just sort of just that. One of the biggest things, you just do your best. That's it. Like, that should be the ultimate understanding. Is especially in life period. Like, all right, you're born, you live, and then you're going for a while until you're dead. And in between that, you just do whatever it is you can do and do your best, and then you die. That's it. There's not. I wish there was like this amazing amount of shit to it, but there isn't. That's pretty much just it.
Well, it kind of doesn't really matter in the end, really, does it? If you want to get full fucking black pilled about it, and in the end, like you live, you die, it doesn't kind of really matter what the fuck you do with your life, as long as
I don't
I
know
guess
about
you've
that.
done something.
So I don't know about
As
that
long as you've done
'cause
something. I don't know. Well,
that-
like,
well, no.
yeah. Well, this is how I like to like frame it for a lot of people. Just understand with what you're about to say. Every single person 200 years ago thought or said something very fucking similar, and guess where they are? Fuck knows. No one cares, and no one remembers them, and
Well,
it
see,
doesn't matter.
that's my point. No, actually, this
Yeah.
is part of going into it is that the importance is in the process itself. We always focus on the the what if after and the follow on, but what if you stop focusing on that and understand in the process of living itself is the benefit and it's to be enjoyed while you're alive. The whole aspect of your death doesn't mean anything. You can't control it. You can't affect it. As far as the only thing you can control is what you're doing while you're alive, within your capabilities. So that would be the important part. The focus
It's
on the
really only
afterlife.
something you. Well, it's really only something you need to be concerning yourself with much later on in your life when you're actually getting closer to approaching it, due to the fact that you can't outwit fucking the aging process. So I think when most people under the age of, I don't know, 60, I don't even think it's something they should be processing, other than I don't want to hurt myself because pain sucks. You know what I mean? Like, not as in like, don't put myself in a situation where I get all busted up in a car crash because I'm an idiot, because that would hurt. That kind of shit. But for the most part, I don't think most people need to be consciously thinking of it anyway, the fear of death. Or maybe they do need the fear of death put in them. I don't know, but I don't think it's something that most people really need to consider. I'm always a man of priorities, and there's limited resources and processing time I've got in my head to be able to deal with shit daily. And for me, death is like, yeah, okay, I'm getting closer. I've probably got another good 20 years before I need to start worrying too much about it. I'll take it more serious now that I'm older, but at the same time, it's not something I'm gonna wake up every morning and go, oh, I'm still alive today. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Praise you, Allah, whatever. I'm just going to get on with my life and do my shit, man, and just do what I got to do and act like there's always going to be a tomorrow.
See,
because I got to keep grinding away, man. Got to keep grinding. You got to.
My point would be that that's perfectly fine. Different strokes, different folks. But acknowledgement of death, acknowledgement of your mentality, and especially when it comes down to, like, some days it's hard to get up. Some days it's hard to just keep moving. And you have to, again, all of us have different meanings. We have different purposes and all that stuff. Like, clearly for me, you start, after a while, start grasping one of the things that I kind of hold high would be to keep moving forward, to keep going. And you would ask yourself, all right, so towards what? And honestly, I couldn't answer that for you because I can't see the fucking future. I can have a general idea, but in a sense, it's to keep going and to keep, I don't know, because maybe there is something. Maybe there isn't. Maybe it's just more pain. Maybe it's just more suffering. Maybe it goes to the point where essentially it goes into a situation of where I'm going to die. I'm going to go through a shit ton of pain and hell before I do. Maybe that's what's next. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either, bro.
What you can do is just live, though, and try to live. Like, that's one of the whole thing. You just try to live, and you accept the fact that you have no control or no knowledge of what's to come. You can have a guess, I guess, but that don't mean shit. So yeah, it's all cool. You don't worry. We're gonna get starved out and killed and slaughtered and put in camps and all that other good shit. But or not. You don't know. I don't know.
There's so many other real everyday issues that everyone's got to grind away at, man, to be too concerned with too much of that shit.
Right.
To be honest, like guys like us are taking the time out of our day and our life to actually contemplate and articulate this shit. But not everyone's that type of person at the end of the day, I guess.
Hell no. I tried to talk. I've accidentally slipped and talked about some shit with some normie ass normies. I mean, these are the most normie of normie mother. And the looks on their faces, and I'm sitting here like, are they gonna report me? Like, is that what's about to happen? Do they need to activate my tranny powers or something?
You know what I find? I find that they actually they think that they know who you are, and one thing they'll think straight away with me is I'm a misogynist, and like at some point they'll be saying something that's fucking going too far, like into misogynistic territory, and I'm just like, well, calm down, bro. I don't know who you think I am, but I ain't that guy.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. Cause I've always thought that's funny. People do that, so they get an idea of what they think you are, and then they just play on that. Because again, NPCs just want to be part of the herd and all that shit, and it's a form of just sort of like social bonding. It's like, hey,
they're like, fuck bitches, bro, fuck bitches.
Yeah,
they ain't shit.
I'm gonna put on my cloak when I talk to you. But yeah, they do that shit. That little social. I can't remember this words for the shit, but I don't care what they are.
Just remember what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, and it's pretty annoying, to be honest. But it's actually pretty funny because like you just pointed out, you can eventually just have fun with them. Because any small signifier, they're gonna go off of whatever they feel they understand about anyone that has like that attribute or whatever. And so like
and if the shoe fits, they'll go with it. If it doesn't, they'll try a different angle. And yeah, sometimes it's funny. They think the shoe fits and they run with it, and it's like, oh god, you're so off the fucking mark. It's not funny. But well, I'll let this play out till I get to the point where I prove you wrong. One day when you say something that you think you can assume about me, and I'll be like, no, that's not true. But anyway.
Oh, I don't correct you anymore. I don't give a shit. I just
there's no point, bro. No, rule number one of having a stress-free life is just give up on trying to change people in any way. Just give up on it, man. It's not going to happen. Most people will defy it just to feel like they have some control over themselves and what they think and feel and shit. So there's no point trying to change people. Give up on that shit.
Well, no, yeah, because one of the things I value, especially in my older age. I know, right? Old as shit, and it's that one low stress, a nice amount of sleep, not too much because I realize I don't really need that much sleep.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, bro. Sleep's a pretty high priority one for me, even though I can like average some weeks where I'm only getting like 5 hours a night. But as long as it's good sleep, I'm fine. I'll catch up on a weekend at some point. But yeah, I hear you on that one, man.
And lowering stress
because the more you do, the more you process, the more you're thinking or learning, or the more physical exercise you're exerting, the more it becomes a higher priority, and a lot of people really take it for granted. I can understand why people do like amphetamines and meth and shit like that, because it's like, yeah, it'd be great to have that unlimited amount of energy, but yeah, it's not exactly the best way to go about it when your teeth fall out and you have a stroke or something from a fucking withdrawal symptoms or some shit. But yeah, anyway, I digress. Sorry, bro. You were saying?
No, I was talking about the just sleep, keeping cortisol levels lower. For me, just one, not getting mad at shit. There's no point. I've come to the point where, and I don't care how somebody views this, but I'm starting to notice a lot of people are like fucking kids. And as far as that goes, I ask myself, because I used to deal with children a lot when I was growing up. And because, black women just love having kids early as shit and then putting them on whoever they can to watch them. So that's how that shit goes. But I don't get mad at children because I'm like, one, it's a kid. They don't teach them. Hell, like that's all. Teach them or whip their ass.
Well, it depends how many adult concepts and drugs or alcohol they've been exposed to. There are some kids that I have seen that have been like 12-year-old kids that suffer from like drug and alcohol psychosis or fucking deep-rooted neurological damage from being in an abusive fucking drug and alcohol abusing family. So that does depend a lot. Like, I'll give you that. Like, you got to give the kids the presumption of innocence. But in saying that, man, I've met some kids that some mothers have allowed them to get pretty fucked up and then barely even fucking drop their balls.
Yeah. But yeah, well, as far as it goes regularly, damn, do I got to start back over? Did I just fuck up?
Sucks to be you.
All right. No, I don't.
Get good, bro.
I could just. There we go. But no, I don't get mad at them, at children, because again, they're just kids. Just go ahead and teach them or whatever, and just move on. It'll be fine.
Is this the Warhammer game?
Yep.
It is? Oh, true. I don't think I've downloaded it. It's nearly like 100 gig download. I just haven't got around to finishing it. But yeah. Yeah, nice.
Well, no, I had to start back over because I lost my goddamn save.
Oh, well.
No, that's all right. And but no, don't get mad at them a lot of times because it's just realizing like when I go to the gym. In fact, somebody was talking to me about that earlier. And you got these dudes. They're just. I think they're kind of funny because they're like making these noises and doing all this weird shit. And I'm like, I don't know who the fuck's that's for, but whatever. And then you got these thoughts just doing everything to get in some guy's way to get attention and all this shit. And I'm like, again, I don't know what the fuck you're doing all this shit for. And it's like this weird, because here's the thing. It's not like it seems like they're getting any pleasure from this. It's almost like this hateful, bitter, angry, regretful action that they just feel compelled to do. But it's like a spiteful. It's like they're pissed off doing it.
It's just an outlet for a lot of people who are mentally ill, bro. A lot of the times it is like a form of psychosis. It's that's why I have no hesitation whatsoever these days, especially post COVID, to stand here and say to someone fucking face to face, eye to eye, the human beings are a piece of shit and they fucking disgust me.
Yeah, I feel you. It's not much at this point. Well, because it's one thing before when we weren't able to really have that full view of everything, and there was that deniability. There was like, no, maybe this, you can't see it. But thank the internet.
Oh yeah, doesn't that accelerate your fucking, your worldly view on fucking matters or things that you believe or feel strongly about? Doesn't it really just drag home every single bit of information that there is to know on it? It definitely has changed the way that it kind of does put everyone in the situation where like the truth is just out there, exposed and on the table, whereas a lot of times it's oppressed or suppressed for the sake of society, because that is one of the cornerstones of having what they call quote unquote civilized society. Is a lot of your human emotions or human behaviors and tendencies have to be suppressed and controlled in order for it to exist.
Yeah, you domesticate yourself. Or
yeah, that's what domestication is basically. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and that's just the sad reality of fucking the world we live in.
Oh no, that's just how it is. I don't know if I don't know if I want to call it sad, because when you pay attention to how people really behave and act after a while.
Well, it's sad because people have really lost the idea that there is a certain way that if you want to be somewhere around other human beings and groups of human beings, there's certain things that are okay and certain things that aren't okay. It's kind of now it's just do as thou wouldst sort of fucking mentality, and it's like that's fine, but you're moving away from the type of world that you're accustomed to. Like I don't know, it's a weird child view of the world, thinking that someone other adult is going to take care of it and be responsible one to do the right thing, and they just get to play like children in the meantime.
Oh, that's
really what
enslaving the shit out of people. I'm not a fan of that. I actually hate that because it's one of those things where I could get it if it's like, hey, we're taking over this place and you're going to be slaves and work on building all this infrastructure. And shit. That's not what's happening. It's not what's happening at all. So all the infrastructure and everything's already built. We already got all that, and they're just like you just pointed out. I don't want to be irresponsible. I don't want to deal with the burden of this self sufficiency or any of that shit. Even though it's at a completely decreased level. Like the amount of
Yes, it doesn't get any easier, bro.
Yes.
It's not a hard life at all for my average everyday person in the West. It's not a hard life. The fact, people are making so much drama in their own lives, man, is an indicator that their life's that easy that they have to make up problems to occupy their mind and keep themselves busy and shit. So, yeah, and it doesn't get much easier, and it's kind of sad, man. But fucking, that's I don't know. Just seems to get worse, man. And problem is like I said, like to give up trying to change people or hoping they'll change or hoping they'll listen to reason, man, because at the end of the day, the world we live in now, it's do as thou wilt mentality. They don't want to be told or lectured, and I don't want to be the guy to lecture anyone, to be honest, but I am the one that at the end of the day is telling you fucking that, the path that we're moving down is one that's not good. It's not healthy, and it's been unhealthy for a long time, and the unhealthiness is getting much worse exponentially.
Well, yeah.
And it ain't gonna end well. It'll end fine for me in some way, shape, or form because I can adapt. I can survive. I can a future that's gonna suck and find my way to be as comfortable as I can in that environment. A lot of people really don't really understand what they're gonna lose or what they're losing or what they're trading away, and it just I don't know.
Well, first,
what do you do? Human beings are pieces of shit, bro. What do you do?
They'd have to be aware of what's going on, period, anyways, which clearly they're not, because, like, just the understanding of how easy life is right now, how being sufficient in this modern environment isn't that big of it's not a huge ask. It's actually really, really simple. A lot of things are really, there's some people we talk about the normie ass, like diversity hire, just desk office worker. These motherfuckers, their day is so goddamn nonchalant and so easy, just so non-difficult. There's nothing really being that asked of them that's even that difficult. And yet the bitching is so fucking high. And the amount that they want to basically have someone enslaved for them. So again, like you pointed out, so they don't have to be fucking responsible. And that somebody else basically has to foot the bill for them. They're
all wanting a fall guy, wanting somebody to be the one to take the blame, the one to pay the price, the one to give their time, their freedom up to fucking maintain or fucking, and it's just sad. It's a real fucking princess fucking mentality, and it's fucking it's a bit gross,
It's expected
to me. It's offensive from my perspective to have that many wanting to be that. In that same situation, it's like, man, not everybody gets to be the prince of the kingdom. So, it just can't function like that.
I say, well, my thing is, I don't know, maybe it's just that as far as the system goes, I just don't like it because at a certain point, well, no, I gotta look at it from another point too. So,
go on.
As easy as it is for them, it's pretty easy for me too, right? So,
given your own personal circumstances, though, I don't think many others sort of are going to be able to say the same story that you are. You may know one or two other people, so I wouldn't lump yourself personally the same way I wouldn't lump myself in with a lot of the other normies. A lot of the other normies do experience what a leftist would define as privilege.
Well, things could have shaken out a lot differently. So how things lined up for how they basically versus like the alternative, it shaked out somewhat okay. You know what I mean? It ain't perfect, but I ain't really all that pissed off about it. Now. give it some time.
Oh, I'm muted. Shit, I was wondering what was going on. You're talking over me. Sorry, bro. Anyway, yep. more or less, but it is a reality. Don't deny it. Like that's one thing. Is like, yeah, it's okay for you to not allow it to be something to use to be weak, but like don't deny it. At the same time, it is part of what you've been through. Like, and it is going to affect a lot of things about things that you choose to do or not to do that other people take for granted that they think everybody does, and so there's a lot of things. That's why I try not to socialise too much with people unless I know they've been through something similar to me, or they can at least half understand, explain it to them. They have a sort of a sympathetic fucking attitude towards struggles and trials and tribulations that men like go through with the shit we get put through. And some of us have had it worse than others. It's a reality, man. Like for me, this is why, mate, I've gone from a guy who doesn't mind kids to a guy that hates and despises for a start. Like, there's a lot about me that's fucking changed. But anyway, I'm just raving shit.
You might keep sort of like breaking up or something. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. You just need to listen better, bro. Get good at hearing.
I know. I've been trying. I'm trying to level up. God damn.
Why not?
I don't know. I just suck. It's terrible.
Take a mushroom. Mario does it.
They're all out of the grocery store. They said it's something about like what did it say? Like transport issues or something? Or I don't know. No, but yeah. So as far as the experiences and everything, yeah. So it's about point of view. In fact, I was talking about that earlier about the perspectives. So for some people, like you have these people who find it hard to accomplish certain things, or they say these tasks are really difficult. But from your point of view, you might find those things very easy, and you might see like, all right, I don't think there was anything there, and so you might attribute to them some sort of mental game they're playing, or they're trying to do the strategy. When in reality, they just might not be. They might not find those type of a task to accomplish that easy. And so, from one point of view, you're looking at them like either they're a manipulative asshole or they're just a weak piece of shit, and they're looking at you as just an asshole. And I don't see that's just how it works. I mean, we all got our own points of view and our own experiences and shit, and so it just is what it is. I mean, there's not really much to that. It's just that hey, everybody's different. That's all that really comes down to.
Yeah, but everyone's also prejudiced as well, bro, whether people admit it or not. And those prejudices can play for or against people, depending, in some way, but usually against people. And that's why I stand by what I said earlier. Human beings are just pieces of shit.
Yeah, being
especially.
Well, that's one thing that I never would argue that. So life as a dude is just fucking difficult as shit. So life just kicks your ass. And then that's one thing we were talking about earlier, was that the whole point of where they want to manipulate you and we build these little constructs and all this bullshit to get you to give something for nothing. So a pat on the head or some other shit or some emotional
something trivial.
Situation. Yeah. Where at the end of that transaction, you are left with less and your life is objectively worse. And they'll say you're a good man, you're a good human, you're a good man for going along with that shit. And that's that type of shit right there is just like, come on, man, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But it's standard. It's in the fucking book. It's in the manual. Like, if you don't raise your kids to go along with that, people will think something's wrong with you. They'll want your kids taken away from you. Because you're not raising them to be a good, productive member of society. No, you're not raising them to be a retarded utility, a sacrificial lamb. Which, at a certain point, I can understand.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Is I can understand why everyone has that mentality, but it's like, look, if everybody was on board with that'd be fine. But I can tell you right now that you might instinctually feel that is what should be the correct male behaviour in a good, healthy society. That's all well and true, but we don't live in a good, healthy society. We live in a sick, twisted one, and you're basically asking somebody to carry the whole weight of the world on their shoulders, as like the vast majority of everybody else doesn't want a bar to do with being the ones to pay the price to maintain the life that they have. They want to dump that on somebody else. So, yeah, and that's where you end up in today, bro. Like, it's a pretty sad place. As far as if you look back 100 years ago as to how other people had to live, they had to do to get to where they were and to get through their life and make their life better for their kids and shit. And it's like, yeah, we've arrived at a pretty sick, twisted time. People are just so hopeless. And they don't want to be useful. They do want to have value, but they don't want to be used. Like, yeah, it's bizarre, and it's like I said. Then you end up with a situation with the less weight that people want to carry, the more other people will have to pick up the weight if they're going to be responsible. So everybody avoids that responsibility, and then it just pounds and pounds and pounds until, like I said, somebody who wants to be the responsible guy has to carry the whole weight of the world on his shoulders. Fuck that.
Well,
that's why I understand why nobody does do anything, but it's like, yeah, at the same time, one, it's sad that they do expect people to pay the price if they won't pay it themselves. That's a bit of a fucking sad story, but, you know, not out of line with the belief that people are pieces of shit, but, yeah. Go on.
I don't even. I forgot what the fuck we were even talking about. It was
I don't know.
No, something about
people pieces of shit. Yeah, I agree.
Oh well, fuck. I don't remember what it was. But yeah,
I know people are pieces of shit though.
Nah, all right. So as far as it goes, oh yeah. So back to the point where you're talking about currently how society is, and what would be seen as
sacrificial
normally,
lamb.
what will be seen as a healthy transaction or a healthy state of being isn't, because that's because essentially the transaction that what was being offered is no longer on the table, so the benefits.
That's right. There's the assumption that the transaction's the same as what 1940, and it's like no, it's a different dynamic now, like a different world that we live in as well, different workplaces we work in as well. It's all different, like, and all these fundamental beliefs unfortunately aren't really compatible. They're maladaptive. That's why I say, like, relationships, they're just something that men and women, something that's just a redundant thing now. Like, with just the amount of corporate and government overreach into people's lives to control, dictate, and and protect for the citizens of the countries and cities and shit. The relationships between men and women have long since been a luxury thing. They're not a necessity. You know, men and women don't need each other to survive, to, you know, not die young against nature and overcoming adversity and shit. And now it's just, yeah, they end up getting married because they think it's something they should do. When she gets pregnant, so they get married and then they have a kid. They think it's all happy fucking, but it's like, it's maladaptive. Like, there's no motivation, reason, function in a relationship between men and women anymore that makes it necessity. There's nothing.
Well,
it's luxury.
We did that. Humans, we did that shit ourselves. Which we are the prisoners. We are the prisoners and the jailers.
Pretty much.
It's pretty fucked up, but that's just how it is.
Well, that's what happens when you're in pursuit of shutting women up and trying to keep them happy, is you end up in this position where you basically cut off your own dick and to keep them happy. That's the kind of world we've got right now, where they cut a lot of dicks, figuratively, and maybe even literally, definitely figuratively. Figuratively speaking, castrated society, where the males are powerless or at the very least empowered.
Well, yeah. So, without going into all that bullshit about that, but basically, as far as it goes, the incentives aren't there. We're still playing along, like we carrot and stick men all the time with the incentives of the benefits of marriage and all that shit. That those incentives aren't actually there.
They're just made up, or they're based on just not true or not founded in reality. It's just not true, man.
Well, yeah, just like how the whole thing about married men live longer, married men earn more, and all it takes is you to do a little bit of math, just a little napkin math in your head, and you realize, like, oh shit, that's a fucking lie. That's not true at all.
Correct.
So it is what it is. I mean,
Yeah, like I said, yeah, I give up caring about it too much, man, because nothing's going to change. There's no change in anybody, and yeah,
well, because there's no real
there's
benefit with wasting your mental energy and time on that shit. Like after a while, because in fact, we were talking about that earlier about one of the benefits. Like when it came around like 2015 and shit like that. Yeah, everybody's got the story of how I found Big Tower when I was walking down a dark alley and there was a pig on my phone. And it's like that's not what happened.
everyone's done it.
It's like,
Yes.
yeah, it's crazy. It's like no, it wasn't really exciting and it wasn't all that great. It was just you found a forum or a video and you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? And I remember when I realized what was being discussed, and I'm like, oh shit, is that what this is talking about? What the fuck is going on? Because I had listened to the videos for a while, but it never really sunk in what was actually being discussed. And one of the things that I'll say that is really lost on a lot of guys right now, one of the benefits that really was there, is because you can't talk about a lot of this shit anywhere. Like that was one of the things was that as far as having a discussion with other men in society about things and having a space where you could openly discuss things and really talk about ideas and the truth and shit, that seemed to be
Forget
gone.
about that. Yeah.
And that was one of the things. It's like, all right, well, they took away because again, you can't make a business or anything like that or any space in society like that without getting the government basically putting their foot in your ass. And so you have like the online sphere where you can make these communities, you can make these like makeshift places where you can hold these discussions and talk about all this shit. And a lot of men didn't they didn't understand the benefit of those things until a lot of it start getting taken away. And then, then you start understanding like, oh, this is why this is important. Because when you try to go out in society and replicate this, one, you already know as a man that society is pretty hostile towards you anyways. And then, so now you're trying to find like-minded individuals and you find out that the amount of people who share the same values you do isn't very large. And then add upon that, when you start talking, you want to talk about a lot of these things that people will call quote unquote deep, or they might see them as polemical, that you're going to be left basically flopping in the wind. You're probably going to, in fact, bring on a lot of bad attention to yourself, a lot of attention you really don't want. And that's going to leave you in a worse off place. And the result is you're just going to learn to shut the fuck up. What they want you to do. They want you
That's
to
right.
shut the fuck up. They don't
That's
want you.
the only option you'll have.
Yes. And so when it comes down to that point, that's where it's a lot of guys don't understand. They didn't really grasp the importance of a lot of it. But it's all right. It's all right because pretty soon it is. Well, not pretty soon because that's another thing too. Things don't happen as fast as people like to believe they do. They actually take quite a bit of time. But then once some shit starts, once it really goes down, then it's over.
It
just
takes
as fast as it started.
It takes 10 years for culture to fully change. Like it can adapt obviously quicker, and there's a lot of margin of error in that, but generally 10 years from the moment you have a very large change before it fully integrates, adapts, accepts it. That's something that a lot of the people that run the countries, run the nations, they know that. And that's why feminism's run its course, man, because it's probably been a good 10 years since it first started to get fucking out of control. And it's just something that's really, really died in the last couple of years in the arse, big time. And that's because I think culture got to the point where it sort of caught up, and everyone's kind of like, yeah, no, these bitches really don't have much to complain about. We're sick of listening to this.
Oh yeah, it's all cool when you can control the information, so people just sort of just listen. But
But they eventually find the truth.
yeah, once it's kind of that's why the internet is so great because it's right in the open for you. It's all right there.
Yes.
Like you can see everything, so you don't really have to sit there and
Oh, well,
guess
I
like it
for
before.
one.
What?
Well, I for one would like to thank women. I'd like to thank you for your unyielding support and making a fool out of yourself on the internet. Because how else would anyone else know you're whores? It's great. I think it's wonderful. People can show their foolishness on the internet as much as possible. You don't even need to say anything. You put comedians out of a job. You are the punchline.
Well, I don't know if it's
These are all facts.
yeah. I don't know if it's funny though, because here's the thing.
It's true.
Oh, it's
Yeah, because
funny.
like when you start thinking about like the family courts and how these dudes are getting destroyed, and well, some guys I don't feel that bad for, because after a while I'm like, you know what, fuck that dude, because they're the type of motherfucker where they would gladly throw you under the bus and fuck you over so they can still be
They
seen
just
as a
won't
good man,
learn, yeah.
even while they're getting
Let,
fucked over.
Yeah.
They're
let
just
these
hell
guys
Yeah.
bent.
play Minesweeper. Let these guys play Minesweeper. In fact, I'd actually like to thank those guys too. Thank you for being a very necessary sacrifice. It shall never go unthanked, you know. I'll be there to happily take an epic shit on your grave. Maybe piss on the flower bed while I'm there. Thank
You made me think of the Golden Girls then. Thank you for being a friend. TV brainwashing from the 90s when you had no choice but watching 5 channels in Australia. Anyway, I'll get an echo, bro.
Yeah, is that me?
Yeah.
Don't. No, I think it's you, bro.
Oh,
God damn it.
Who have you come in as? Hang on, I don't know that avatar. Is that a which one?
Abysmal.
Oh yes, okay, yep.
Well,
Cool.
that me?
Yeah, you're definitely echoing, bro. I can see yours lighting up
Okay,
as
let
I
me-
talk.
Okay. I'm better now?
Check, 1, 2, check. Yeah, that's better.
Alright.
I know nobody else likes the sound of my voice, but yeah, I don't like the sound of it, that's for sure.
I've actually kind of gotten over that.
Uh,
I don't. I think it's because I don't give a shit. Just like it's like when I say the fucks to give kind of just went away. It's almost like relaxing a muscle. So
Yeah.
at first you're like trying to like I need to get swole. I need to get toughened up and all this. So you squeeze it and you flex it and you're working it out, and then after a while you just stop caring. You stop giving a shit,
See, I for one
and you don't even feel it when you use the muscle.
everyone appreciate his voice, you know. It's like, 'cause if you turn up just loud enough, you know, just start hitting a woman with a newspaper. It's just majestic to have that playing in the background. You know, just nulls out the screams. I guess just this freaking newspaper. But yeah, I mean, exercise is great too. But some people do go overboard and try to become a statue. I just walk and do calisthenics, a little light hip lifting here and there. I mean, anything to not draw attention. I think it's really great, you know, grow out them. I've been telling guys, you know, grow out the beard. Grow out the beard. It's like a natural deterrent. Maybe just dress like an old Italian gangster from one of those movies or something. Just go to the bank, go to work. I mean, people will leave you alone. And coming up with new ways to be left alone. It works.
Well, yeah, I find it's a little bit the opposite at the moment with some of these younger ones who are pining to go back to the 1970s. I find that the longer mine gets, the more that they fucking want to try to chat to me and be more friendly and shit. And it's like, ooh, maybe I'm giving off the wrong vibe here. Maybe I need to adapt my strategy. But yeah, it is what it is, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, when I was a kid, you know, younger, I didn't really think about it, but it finally dawned on me. You know, no one really tells men what, for example, what a bad woman is, or like that's never taught to any of us. Like, not really. Women have like 1,000 different warnings over what's a bad dude, and yet still, they they just don't care, good or bad. Whatever's beneficial to them, they'll date Satan given the fucking option too. So, All I'm saying is, you know, ladies, God gave you pain for childbirth, for a reason. Apparently, you thought you were better than him too, if you believe in that kind of stuff. But even if you don't, you want to go full blown atheist or whatever.
Hmm.
The elements do not like you. Nature seemingly has a fucking issue with these bitches. I've noticed that. Heard a story about this woman got struck by lightning and her two little fur babies that she called went right along with her. The elements are not kind to them. At this point, damn the kitchen, stay in the house for your fucking safety. Just get in the way. Just get in the way, man. It's not to say all women, but still about a good 90. They ain't shit worth the damn. I mean, and the worst part about it is young guys won't say it. It's usually dudes well over 30, 40 that'll say it. Been seeing everything, done everything, and nothing they do is new. So if anything, I feel bad for younger guys. Oh my God, she's nice. This is new. This is fun. Yeah. You just let that die.
Well,
Let
that's
that
because we
die
served them up for the
years.
slaughter. So they know that young men need to be enslaved, essentially. So that's what's going to happen, and that's what does happen. They serve them up. They encourage them with all the things that's going to leave them fucked up. And so even the guys who are enslaved themselves, they see it as a good thing. And here's I find this is the funny part because it's really weird and it lets you sort of into a lot of people's mindsets. So as far as they're concerned, they're going to do their time in the system, and then when they're done in the system, now they get to have life on easy street in their 60s.
Yep. Come to think of it, I've been hearing about 60-year-old dudes losing their shit and whooping everybody's ass. I mean, I've been hearing that a lot.
Oh, because
What
the
happened?
system's fucked. They don't have their like that whole idea of you're just gonna it's gonna be chill time and all that. That's gone. That's done. A lot of them will find out the hard way. It's like, no, you got to go back to work, Grandpa. What are you doing? Get your ass back in there. What are you doing? Where do you think you're going?
And not to mention, some of these dudes realize they're wasted like 60, possibly 70 years of their life. I don't know what happened. One day he just woke up and started trying to kick my ass. Why? Because you wasted his fucking life.
No,
Wasted his time.
here's
I
the thing.
mean,
He wasted his life. That's one thing that
too.
a lot of guys don't understand. That one of the harsh realities of life. It doesn't matter who lied to you about what. It doesn't matter how they lied to you. At the end of the day, you made the decision and you followed through with it and you kept going on with it. So whatever you do, whatever you don't do, the consequences are on you. That like I know how this is about to sound, but you're a man. That's literally how it works for you.
Yeah.
You're an actual adult. Not like a pretend adult like women are. Like no, you're a real, actual, full-fledged. You're a real boy. You're a real man. You're an adult. So what you do, you bear the consequences of all that shit. You don't get to
Yep.
I get to push this off on something or press for certain. No, that's not it. You don't get to dye your hair and change your name and move to a different city and all. No, fuck that. That's not how it works. So when understanding that, it's like, all right, now you need to understand. So live your life for you. Don't live your life with all these like for what these people say and this bullshit they promise you. It's not worth it. There's a reason why I always refer to that shit as a carrot on a stick because that's what the fuck it is.
This is why I
you do
say
this
young
in the
men
hopes
like
of getting something. In reality, you're gonna find out it's not what you want. What they're offering you isn't real.
This is why, someone, if they really, fathers are hardly anybody really cared about men. They should start, when they're young, teaching the boys. Nobody gives a fuck about them, and they have to at least have some kind of concern for themselves. Women don't have to be adults. They know they always gonna get the benefit of the doubt in like every scenario. Even if we all lived in hell, you'd be making deals with demons and Satan, and like the hinge to live slightly better. Terrible, but slightly better. You think very short term. This is why you can't really build nothing with them. They wait at the end of the fucking finish line and whatnot. And if this offends them, I'm glad. They need to be fucking offended. They need to fall on the hard, cold ass of reality. Just fall right on it. But somebody will always be able to save them. That's why I gave up. I mean, there's not much you can really do. And as far as the Simpson slavery stuff, it all goes back to them not being taught what a bad woman is. Ask a man what's a good woman or what's a bad woman. You get like a very diverse thing. Ask a woman, what's a bad man? I don't know. That's the whole thing about it. So it's just, you learn to treat them like kids. Seen, not heard, call it a day. And if they want to treat young boys this way, then, hey, they're going to get what they get.
Oh
It's
yeah, I
not
never
the
feel bad
because I
when I
do
see
want
those
to point
news
out.
reports or any of that shit. It's like so, like again, like some of the movies that I've been playing, and if you notice the theme, it's like yeah, like these people that they essentially create, and then after that, it's like people want to bitch and whine about it. It's like, well, I don't think you really get to. That's just
Oh, it's
how
just a
that
bit
Well,
of
is.
that's the
virtue
thing.
signaling, bro. A lot of times when they act like they care.
Well, that's the whole thing about it. No one ever, lets them know that they, have some kind of life to live, and so it's funny to me because a lot of these women they go their whole lives never understanding it, and the closest they ever get is when they have a son, and then they'll notice that the son the only one staying around trying to take care of everybody. Daughters don't do that. Typically, they don't. Like, F you, I live my own life. I mean, they're dependents by nature. But dependents at best, parasitic at worst. And if they want to keep trying to play this little weird thing, and they did the whole fucking thing with the rainbow shit. They promoted that so much, and I stand by on this point. Don't nobody hate the rainbow people more than women do. Like women say the worst shit more than any guy I ever fucking met, but yet they turn around and promote that shit. It's asinine.
Oh, it's easy
They
because they're getting
think
in the way
one
of their
thing, say
benefits.
another.
Yep.
Yeah,
Treading
that's
on
the
that
thing.
turf.
Yeah, that's all that is. Everybody, like people will virtue signal and all that shit until their benefits start getting encroached on. Yeah, that's when all that shit goes out the window.
Yep.
So everything's cool until then, and then it's like, hey, fuck those motherfuckers, and fuck them, and fuck this, and fuck y'all, and la la la.
That's the whole thing about it. Now they're gonna have to deal with the fucking consequence of this shit. I mean, people want to talk about homophobia. That's mostly women. That shit's mostly coming from women, regardless of their freaking orientation. Nobody gives a shit who wants to shag who. Yes, some of us are just sick of fucking hearing about
Well,
it.
no, it's because it's
That's all women like.
politicized. So because you can get political benefits and shit from it, that's why it's an issue. If that wasn't the
Yep.
case, then they wouldn't give a shit.
But that's the thing, though. Like, it was bound to be a problem because women make everything sexual. Remember a time when somebody was like spanking their kid, like some father was spanking their daughter for being bad? Oh my God, that's kinky. Some shit. Every form of punishment has to be reduced to that so they can get out of it. And now I completely understand why, like, men of all ages are scared to even approach women. And I really hope one of them fucking crosses this damn stream. They probably won't, but I'm gonna say it. You a fucking liability. That's why. People like it's so messed up that I go into places. Thank God I don't work corporate. That'd be fucked up. You go in there, all the guys are just like sneaking and darting around, sliding around corners like heirs of Slytherin or some shit, going through walls practically. That's what they done. Toxic Avengers, fucking liability. No man, if I was making like celebrity level money, you think I'd be stupid enough to fucking like try to entrust that? It'd have to be some other chick that's celebrity, and even that's fucking dangerous. But the thing about it is, they made themselves into such a major liability that even the so-called good women, the ones that aren't fucked up, hey, you gotta avoid them too. You gotta run them through a series of flaming hoops. They go, okay, maybe she not kill me today, but maybe she kill me later. How would you like to die? That's what it is. When talking to modern women, that's the overall theme for the West. How would you like to die? Pick your poison.
Well, I don't know about all that, but yeah, fuck it. Ain't gonna change in a hurry, man. That's for sure.
Well, it's not that big a
Yeah.
deal. Just go ahead and either, I don't know, find a way to get your physiological needs met, find a way to have your mental needs met, and you'll be fine. Like, again, the whole point of bringing up the male spaces and male discussions and all that stuff was for the understanding, like, yeah, so as humans, we have social needs. We want to socialize, we want to be part of community, Etsy. Well, so they took away the avenues for you to do that when you go to like your male spaces and like your city or something like that. All right,
Yep.
well, you can find other shit online. So that means when you do have your mail spaces in IRL, well, guess what? You're gonna have to water it down. What you talk about is gonna be like heavily censored, and yeah, a lot of dudes are basically they're on the side of they'll string you up. They want to keep the status quo no matter what it is. And as far as they're concerned, everybody's on the menu. They want good boy
Yep.
points for turning your ass in, and they'll do it in a heartbeat. It just is what
No.
it is. So, so you find
Yep.
ways to
That's the whole
adapt.
thing
That's one of
about
the
it.
biggest things. So find ways to adapt, find ways to, be all right with how things are. You know what I mean? Because you find ways to
That's why
basically
I
get
just
what you need and move on.
That's why I just try to find ways to have fun with it. That's going to be so watered down. I'm probably gonna have to send message via carrier pigeon, and maybe I just teach a bunch of crows how to say bitch and cunt for the hell of it. Just teach like a couple hundred of them and fly around town, just for the
Why
hell of
not?
it. Might as well throw it out
Honestly,
there.
like women don't really give a shit about that. Like a lot of stuff they like parade and holler around, like, "Oh my god, it's so fit." They don't fucking
And
really
then
care. That's not really a
the
big
thing about
deal.
it is, I joke about it, but like it's really there is no word in the human language that really can offend a woman. I mean, it used to be bitch, but cunt, bitch, whatever. I mean, women don't give a fuck. I mean, because the whole thing is, long as it's like Frodo Baggins in the ring, as long as ye possessor of the vagina,
It's about
they put that
control.
fucker on.
It's about control. So that's one of the things I noticed. I used to talk about this a while back. Is like one of the things I'd always notice is like a woman comes around and then how you are allowed to speak changes,
Yes.
and it's enforced
Yeah.
by the other men around who you could have been saying the same things around just not too long ago because the woman's presence there. Now everything has to be changed up. It is what it is, and one of those understandings after a while. I'd say at first, especially when you're younger, you're frustrated, pissed off. But then after a while, when you get it, all you do is you just change your behaviors on what you do. Because you
Yep.
might, like a lot of guys will have pride get in the way, and they're like, yeah, I'm not, fuck that. I'm going to still do this. And I'm like, after a while, I'm like, nah, fuck that. That's a waste of my time. And also, fuck these people. I'm going to go do some other shit. Because fuck this. This clearly isn't in my benefit. And so you just go find
Oh
other shit to
yeah.
do. You find different people to hang out with, or if at all. And so you change your
Yeah.
life
That's the
towards what you want to deal with, how you want to be fucking treated.
Well, that's why like the older you get, the harder it is. I mean, I found some good friends, gym wise, and everything. I try to keep myself social and whatnot, but yeah, I'm so sick of this. There's also this current trend that's been going on years, where it's become so normal to bash men that not bashing men's become a trend. Your aromas and all the and just pearly and all this shit. When I see this, I have to laugh because these women don't want to like, oh, I'm one of the guys, and they can say whatever around me. It don't matter. Most dudes in general aren't gonna pick a be that way. This one of the
No,
guys
that's
shit needs to stop.
one.
You are
Hold
not one
on,
of the
that's like
guys.
some preschool shit. So any dude who's sitting there and some chicks call, you could say I'm one of the guys and all this shit. Man, one, if you fall for that bullshit, you're fucking retarded. A woman is a woman is a woman. That's it.
Yep.
Like that's how that's always been since day one. You realize that shit when you're younger and dating and all that shit. It's like, hey, these bitches say the same shit. They all swear up and down they different, and they all end up reacting the same fucking way. So after a while, you catch on like, oh, they're all full of shit. I get it now.
Yep.
Someone ought to make a fucking parody about this shit where some kind of like female
All
wolf or
right.
fox goes
Oh,
up
my
to some
people are about
cheap
to die.
sheep or
Holy shit.
chickens. Oh shoot. Ooh, crap.
Yeah, but what
Kill
are you
them.
saying?
Oh, somebody needs to make some cartoon, some parody or something because it's the equivalent of a female fox or wolf going up to some sheep or chickens and saying, "Oh, don't worry, I'm different from the other ones. I brought barbecue. I'm different from the other ones. I brought ketchup.
Yeah,
Completely
essentially,
different."
yeah.
It's,
God damn it! Or I need to
I don't
hurry
know,
up and
like
get him
all the
the fuck up there. Where's that shit at? Right there.
and that is just yeah, that's
Finish
just
this
crazy. You got
goddamn mission.
women over here. Hopefully you beat it. Yeah, well, every time I see like a woman trying to make red pill content, it's like watching a child put on adult shoes and scuffle around in them. Hey, I'm going to work. Yeah, you are, dumbass. It's just, it's not like they can't get their own shit. They can't build their own shit. They can't get their own shit. Like, I identify with this philosophy more. I'm like, okay, cool, bitch, peace. I mean, it's just
No,
you
it
don't see
just because
men
it's
trying to
all
infiltrate
just
women's
what's
shit.
gonna get me the attention, what's gonna get me the money. Like this is all some
Yeah.
basic shit. That's how it is. We've experienced this for years, and it's not gonna change. That's the thing. It's not gonna change. It's not gonna go anywhere. And after a while,
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, there's a lot. Like at this point, for a lot of dudes who've been around, they know some shit. There shouldn't be anything really surprising you about that whole dynamic between men and women, and especially the societal situation we find ourselves in, as far as it goes with the laws, the courts, all that. Like, there's nothing surprising here at all.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
I don't know what, like a
I just
lot of
get angry.
guys, they go into the course where I get it. Information now is being censored heavily. You want to find shit. You got, I don't know, like dating coaches telling you how to man up so you can go out and get raped. And then you got male figures in society. So basically, and I caught on to that too. A lot of these dudes who want to present themselves as male mentors and shit like that, where essentially, yeah, they're just grooming you to be a fucking slaughter. That's it. Like, it's not, they're not offering you anything either. So after a while, you catch on.
You know,
Nobody's offering you shit. They're not on your fucking side. They don't have your best interests. But if you acknowledge this out loud, if you put it forth and you start doing the behaviors to improve your life, they're going to try to call you hostile, they're going to say everything in the book. And
or
one of the
repulsive.
biggest takeaways that you have to get from that is fuck what they have to say. They don't have anything to say to
And
you.
that's the whole thing. I think a lot of these life coaches and these dating coach gurus or whatever, the only one that I ever had any amount of respect for to any fucking degree is at least, I guess maybe Rushford, because the motherfucker at least had checks and receipts. But look what happened to him. Dude went off and became some fucking Orthodox Christian. I mean, that's the same story how it goes. But outside of guys like him, I really think every time I hear the term like boss up, man up, or these slogans or whatever, like I really, and I'm not just saying this as a diss. I think a lot of those guys got secret feelings about stuff, and they should just, switch teams already. Because when you really start to think about it, what man gives a shit about how much pussy another man is getting if it's not his dick? I mean, so it's like it's inherently homoerotic. I mean, that's why they get defensive about it, because I mean, no hetero man or secure man should ever be saying that kind of shit. Like, oh, follow me and I'll show you how to get women. They're the most inexperienced of all, and the only women they get are the ones they pay for, or they BS enough to get attention. They're doing. These
Right.
guys are inherently effeminate, and I hope they fucking come after me. They're
All
inherently
right,
effeminate.
that
They're acting like a woman
I
to
don't
get a
know where
woman.
you're going with this, but it's weird. So, look, as far as it
So
goes,
what I'm saying is, this is what they're teaching. They're teaching that this is a normal freaking thing, and that's
because
become
they're
like a
trying to
normal
they're
trend in
gaining a benefit
society.
from it. They're trying
All
to
the fake
one,
people.
they're selling something. They're selling a service. They're trying to get money from the people they're telling it to.
Yeah.
Also,
That's the point I'm making.
for the ones for like the PUA and the I'm out here alpha male shit, it helps to have basically competition. So they want someone to be compared to. So for them to get the validation of I won the competition, there has to be other competitors. It can't just be them. There needs to be other people doing it.
I
And so
mean,
they need to
I get
feel
that.
like they're like they have an accomplished identity. There needs to be that moment of I was chosen because I'm the more dominant, I'm the better looking, I'm the more money, I'm the better man. That whole point. So that basically, that gives them life fulfillment. That gives worth to them because they don't have any internal validation. It's all external. Now, is that
That's the
all of
point
them? I
I'm.
don't know. Maybe there's some dudes where they're like, "Hey, I just really like sex." That's cool. You can really like sex. You go do that. But as far as the ones who are, I don't know, selling a product and some shit, yeah, they're gonna do that because it's a good market. I'm not saying good as in morally. I'm
I mean,
saying good as in look at how much money you can make off of basically conning the shit out of dudes. Men are
Yeah.
basically the most
yeah.
neglected they've ever been in society. Nobody gives a fuck about them, especially young men. You're left essentially to the wolves. So why wouldn't they?
That's the
You're not
point.
getting any guidance,
That's the
no
point.
help, and everyone is looking to serve you up. Everyone wants to tap that market because they see all these unprotected young men out here with no guidance, no understanding, no shit. So yeah, they're going to. Why wouldn't they? I mean, look at OnlyFans. Look at all this shit. Look at the PUA dating coaches and all
That's
that shit. Look at the courses, the money. It's a huge. Like, think about how much a business that is.
It's a big racket.
that's the point I'm trying to. That's the point I'm trying to make. I mean, like I wasn't going off on an empty tangent. Basically, what I'm saying is, how are they any different from a hoe? I rank the PUAs no different than a bitch on OnlyFans. They both want something from men. And so when it comes to the message and how it's like people think it's just women to watch out for, the reason I say all that is you also have to watch out for other men. And that's kind of where we are at this. Like we got barely any allies on shit. When you're trying to tell somebody something that's going to ultimately help them, instead of being like thanks or just taking it face value, they decide to war against you. No apparent reason on the fact that you shattered their fragile reality. Or it ain't like how, that's not how it was in the storybook, the pop-up book. They stay eternal children because of it. I know there's nothing that could be done about this because it didn't start overnight and it damn sure won't end overnight, but things had to get worse before they get better. That's the point I'm trying to make. So like you were saying earlier, we have to protect ourselves come hell or high water and just prepare for the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, that's part of it. Like a big chunk of it is all like a lot of it is all mental. That's where some people get a little lost at because it is just mainly it's a big. How do I get you mentally? Because once I have you mentally, breaking that isn't very easy. That's why those understanding a lot of that psychological manipulation that used to be see in the manosphere that used to be a huge circle of discussion was a lot of that the psychological manipulation and shit that used to be something that was talked about a lot of psychological theory. That's why I'm constantly be pushing Messenger and Spetnaz's channels because they still put out videos. And those are two dudes who know a lot about that shit, and they talk a lot. And one of their main focuses, of course, is as a man, you essentially getting self awareness. You getting aware of your mind, your triggers. You know the shit that actually gets you going, the things that actually affected you. You know if you got some trauma still going on, are you processing that? Have you moved past it? You know a lot of that important shit that isn't discussed. It's because again, one of the main points that people will always try to push on you, one of the main keys of manipulation is for you to think that for you to essentially to improve, to get better, to find fulfillment, any of that, that it all has to come externally.
Yes.
And so once it's taken away that no, I don't need I don't need there's nothing because again, there's nothing outside of you that's going to help you get anything done. That's going to help you find fulfillment in your life. It's all internal. And I know a lot of people think that's some woo woo whatever shit, but no, that's real. That's actually what it is. You got to ask yourself, what is the difference between you a few years ago and you now? It's the understanding you have. You think about all the shit you went through, the skills you gained, and the knowledge and all that stuff, the emotions you processed. Think about the mental internal tools that you gained to help self-regulate and to make yourself through a lot of difficult situations. No one helped you do that. That was you that did that. Now they might have been there with some encouragement, I don't know, your emotional support or whatever the fuck. But in reality, if even if they're not there, you still would have had to do that anyways. It would have been just you.
Yep. This is
One
why
second,
I
I'll be
get
right back.
mad. All right. Yeah, this is why I get mad about all the enlightenment bullshit. I never thought I'd be alive. Remember when I was younger, you know, there were people that were trying to sell enlightenment. They were too far in between. Not everybody is on this. Oh, I'm off the grid, and and you see damn cables in the freaking background. They're trying to sell like dangerous shit that gets you killed if you actually try to practice it. Like then you just hit a rock with a hammer, fire, and all this other stuff. That they're selling enlightenment, and you can't sell enlightenment, but they'll go just buy my yoga mat or buy this. I mean, we had a few of those type of people back then, but now it's like everyone has become so overwhelmed with mainstream culture to the point where that's all I see. Fakeness, insecurity. These people are a danger to everyone, they're a danger to themselves. That's why people are defecting from society and saying fuck this and moving anywhere they can, to get away from it.
Yep.
Get away from what?
I missed it. We were talking about, if you buy my bottle of geyser water for $99 a piece, you too can achieve enlightenment.
Only
Because
$99. That's a good deal.
A month.
we're gonna go for 1,000.
Oh man, that's a deal. That's
And
way
I
cheaper
love
than the
them.
other bottles of water I've been buying.
Oh no,
one's
this is
official,
infused with harmony and gelatin crystals or some shit.
I don't.
Act now, you get
No, it's
act now, you get all crystal boba.
Well, no, it's one of those things. I think a lot of guys, especially now, need to learn not to be so hard on themselves. You didn't know what you know now back then, and now
Yeah.
even if you make a slip, you make a mistake. You're not perfect. You're just human. Don't tear yourself up because believe me, the world is waiting to tear you up for you. They'll take care of that.
Yeah, that's right. There's no point letting yourself get away with whatever. You've got to get shit done. But yeah, there's no point being too hard on yourself because there'll be plenty of people lining up to do it for you.
So instead of I don't know. That's why I don't really like some of that motivational shit. Because
Yeah,
they say this
it's
shit.
it's a bit sort of in a perfect world. It's like, but we don't live in that world, bro. Your advice sucks.
Yes.
The thing is, if it's like genuine, that's fine. But I just hate how back then we didn't have a lot of people doing this. You couldn't really too much get anyone. I mean, you might get a pamphlet or something, but now everyone's trying to sell like enlightenment or some off the grid shit when they're not even really off the grid. You be watching their like fucking videos and they got like power lines and then next to shit tons of houses in the damn auto shop. Hey guys, I'm off the grid. Like my boots? Not a speck of dirt on them.
Yeah. It's.
I was just
It is. Yeah. Well, again, I mean, we are at a point where essentially, as far as it goes, providing a service is one of the main things people really do. So you find one, and normally you're gonna probably go like the easier route. That's clearly what's going on. Is you find the easy route, and I don't know. I mean, life's pretty fucking hard. I mean, people are gonna make it however they can, and if someone's willing to go along with it and give them money for it, then it must have some value to them. So,
Maybe.
maybe. I mean, that could just be some eye candy. I mean, once saw this video of a chick hitting a rock with a hammer, and she's like, "See, that's how we make sparks or some shit like that." And I was thinking
what?
to myself, a lot of people got to get hurt doing this. They
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 don't.
should do
Do
it.
they not know what
Yeah.
happened when you? Is somebody shocking somebody?
That's more fire starting taser. Don't worry about it. It isn't that caliber, but yeah, don't worry about it.
But yeah,
The
so
hammer down.
don't hit don't fucking hit a rock with a hammer because you're trying to.
Put solution on its skin. Sorry, man. What was that?
No, because one, I'd hope you have some safety goggles or some shit on because you're gonna fuck your eyes up. And two, you can get like I shit you not, you can get really like sticks of flint and all types of shit that you'd be perfectly fine with. You can have like like I'm talking about. It's not even. These aren't things that would take up a lot of room on your person or anything like that. So it'd be pretty simple for you to just get that and be perfectly fine with it. So just do that,
That requires
cause
actual effort. Though.
well, just get some shit and
No.
hopefully you can get to it if you need to get the fuck away from everything. If you can't, then I hope you were taking notes on how to start fires with just like sticks of wood and like I think you take a couple sticks of wood and you're supposed to basically use the heat from the friction.
Dude, there'd have to be some building somewhere where someone used to sell cigarettes, and I'd just go in there, look for some lighters, and just pocket like fucking 50 lighters, and be set for fucking 3 years.
Basically. So there's a lot of different supplies that
Cool,
you would
man.
be perfectly fine with. You don't need to do. I mean, if it's entertaining to you, sure, it's entertaining. That's you do what you do. But there's so much information you don't have to pay for. A lot of people, I don't think they
Yep.
know that you don't have to.
Yeah. Well, see, even when I was young, learning about computers and shit. I still had one, but there was no real internet back then in the 90s. And so, like, I spent a lot of time reading manual instruction books and going to the library.
Yeah, yeah. You didn't have a choice.
That's right. What else was I gonna do?
Like now, you don't have to go to a library. There's a fucking library right in front, right in wherever your computer is.
It's in your fucking pocket. It's like 4 inches from your nutsack.
I'm sensing an intense.
This is why there's not much of an excuse not to know anything anymore. I mean, but people still find a way. One of my favorite things to hear is when someone comes up and tells me some shit like, "This isn't camping gear, right? This is survivalist gear." I'm like, yeah, there's a major difference between the two.
Now, and dust is getting
There
Good
is.
job.
I hate dust storms.
There really isn't, but let them believe that, you know.
Well, I need to
All
survive
of
when I'm
this really
camping
fancy
too.
stuff.
Shit. Doesn't this asshole think that survival is universal?
No, not unless his brand's on there.
It's got to be survival. Trademark, copyright, pending.
Yeah, is that survival camping? I can't think of brand names. That's why I'm not.
$4.99 plus tax.
Is that Lifeway's branded survival gear? If not, you're not surviving right.
Just give me your credit card.
I just never thought, you know, I'd be alive to see camping nerds, you know. Remember how people were nerdy about comic books? I mean, hell, we all were, but I just never thought that'd be applied to camping shit, you know.
Niggas gotta make $1, bro.
Waiting for someone just to say, this is my limited edition axe. Don't remove it from the packaging. My limited edition freaking lighter.
Let's hope this doesn't happen again.
Somebody buy my bathwater.
Well, I mean, that's all. Like they say, marketing is a big deal because it brings in a lot of people. Depending on, there's so much information, and basically, the more attention you can get to somebody, more likely
More
to get their
exposure
money.
and attention, yeah, that's right. Because it is really hard in a world full of 7 or 8 billion people to stand out and for be something that people remember when they have about a product that they need, that they happen to supply, or service they happen to supply. So it is a hard thing, and you find that those that have the most money, that can advertise the most, are the ones that people remember the most.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. So it works. Don't think it doesn't. I love how people seem to think that fucking the mainstream media is not effective. It's like, well, they must be because they're still around. Even as bad as they are, they're still around. So it must still work, the bullshit they spin out. People must listen. They're not as much free thinkers as what they fucking like to say.
Oh no, everybody swears up and down they're an individual, they're a free thinker, they're not like everybody else, they're different, blah blah blah. Don't listen to that shit.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
It's like, well, I can't help but happen to notice you have the new Nike shoes on. Oh yeah, they're awesome. It's like, well, who told you to buy them?
Exactly.
The
Why
TV told you.
No, I like them because they're a reputable brand. That no, shut the fuck up. That's not even. You know that's not what it is. Oh,
It
look,
helps
I
Michael
got a
Jordan
new-
with his
got a
AIDS
new
treatment.
item. Got a new. Damn it! How do I make stuff?
No, is it Johnson? No, Johnson didn't get AIDS. Which was the one that got AIDS?
Damn
Where's
it.
Craig now?
I mean, these are the same type of fucking people that go out of their way to. I bought this boulder from somewhere in Africa, and it cost me a couple of $1,000. It's a rock. No, you see, it was under a shrine. It's a rock. But you know, it had some diamond encrusted. Sir, it's a fucking rock.
Don't knock the rock, bro.
People go.
Can you smell what the rock is cooking?
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing, man. People they just throw money at anything. All you gotta do is just put the word organic or sacred on something, and people will buy it. The sacred rock.
Bless them. Go and buy like a case of, and then just like bless it, half-assed ritual, and it's holy, bro. Like you got to work these scams, man. Gotta get the dollar bill, yo.
My problem is, man, they ain't even trying to hide it anymore. They always have a dollar. Every time you see their name, they got a damn money reference, and they have some cringy ass, corny slogan. I mean, like, it's
Hey,
one
if
thing
it
to like
works.
something, but hell,
The funny thing is, people, when it
Yeah.
comes up, familiarity means comfort. So think about it. If they're used to corny ass slogans and commercials and all that shit, even with the internet, they're still gonna want to see the same stuff. I've always thought that was funny. You got these dudes, I'm so red pill of this, and they're just looking for TV.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm tracking a swarm of fast-moving objects across the sky. It's a meteor shower.
guess I gotta start
Prepare
off
for
my
the bomb.
millionaire hustle. Like, I'm gonna just make a thing that's gonna
Yeah.
show everyone how to make money. Okay, I need everyone to give me their money. Okay, everyone did it. Okay, great. That's how you make money. And I just walk away.
Yeah.
Well,
Give me $20 each and I'll tell you how to make money. $20 million later, see you later, channel delete.
and it's one of the things one of the things I really like is how you got people walking around going, mindset. Meanwhile, they be broke as shit. Don't even know what the fuck they do.
Yeah, it's like, bitch, I don't need you to tell me how to imagine how to be rich. I can imagine how to be rich on my own. Fuck you.
Right?
It's-
Holy shit.
I saw a freaking YouTuber like that. First he was a broker, then he sold cars, then he was a fucking producer, like a life coach. Now he's claiming to be a carpenter and a fucking you know, it's always some shit with these guys. Just everything's a con. All of a sudden, so I just can't help but laugh, man. Just
Alpha, bro.
Wait, can I
alpha
build
con.
shit here?
Just I don't know. It's just there's no easy quick get rich quick scheme. People can try it, but you have to have like effort to do that.
Oh, look, it just
Back
comes
to
down to,
classic.
and I've talked about this before. I can't remember with whom, but I've definitely spoken about it here before. That they've done the studies on people who've been really quote unquote successful and done well for themselves in their life and whatever, and asked them honestly, you know, how they got to where they were. They answer honestly, it's usually luck.
Yeah.
They happen to be the right
Yep.
person that knows the other person that was in the right place at the right time. And it's followed closely usually by nepotism.
Oh yeah. Who you know?
And that's, yeah.
Well, my thing is, I think and this a lot of guys. I don't know where. I mean, I'm not saying this will help you. It might. Depends on who you are. I mean, we're all different. So when I say something like that, it's because it might have helped me, or it might help some people I know. And again, about changing your perspective. Like you got to ask yourself, how much do you really need? You know what I mean? What are you really trying to get? Like, there's times where you might have varying different points of money in your life, but ask yourself, what really was different, and what would you even be doing?
Yep.
And a lot of times, it probably isn't that different than the shit you're doing if you actually, got yourself to a point where you actually like your life.
Yep.
So I mean, I wouldn't really too trip about it. Like the idea, like a lot of times when it comes down to, what the hell is this? Why? I don't know. I'll add it to my goddamn queue. No, I'm trying to play this fucking game and they threw me in a random ass level and
Never.
can't build shit or do anything, and there's fucking plants and everything killing me. But goddamn.
A building has been destroyed. An
He's
enemy
in no man's land.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to jump through this rift breaker, which I like it, but it's just like, what the fuck is going on here? But no, how much it actually takes for you to live, and why you're trying to get a lot of shit. Like, what shit are you trying to get? Like, I sometimes have to stave myself with some of my purchases, because what I'll do is I'll find small different projects, like different skills or something that I want to learn or do or practice, and then I might get a little overhand with buying certain shit. Like, one thing, especially like, but see, that was legit. I was like, hey, I need to make sure I get some ammo and maybe a couple more firearms before it gets difficult or I'm not able to at all. Because that's actually legit concern. And you're like, hey, well, how can you justify those purchases? I'm like, well, hold the fuck up. One of your most important things that you should always be focused on is your security. How can you protect yourself? So your physical is all right, but you got to ask yourself, how many fist fights are you probably going to get in it? Probably not a lot or any. Like in reality, you're probably gonna have to shoot the shit out of somebody or stab them. And so your physical state can be all right. That can help. But in reality, you're gonna need a fucking weapon, and you're gonna need to be able to use it. And I don't know if you know what age we're in, but it kind of is the age of gun. So you might want to, if you can have one. I know every place is different, but if you can have one, you might want to get one and use it. That's probably what you want to do. It'll help you save your life. Or if you're like one of those people who like to, you know, protect people you care about and shit. And that's your motivation. It's like I got families and all this stuff, and I want to care for them and all that. And yeah, then that's what you need that for too.
Affirmative, Ashley. We should have some results available shortly.
Yeah. So it all goes back to the prepared versus the unprepared. And I laugh because I've had to explain to many people there is no such thing as a self-made billionaire. And the people that believe that, you're going to have a terrible fucking life. I promise you. I mean, it's just crazy.
Excellent. We should go there as soon
I
as
mean,
possible.
it always helps to have a bug out bag. I tell everyone, do as much as you can. Like, go and join some kind of gun association. Do outdoors shit. Online's great too, don't get me wrong. Bit of a shut in my damn self, but you know, it's good to do outdoor stuff as well, because eventually a lot of internet shit ain't gonna matter. Like, come to think of it, the internet all over the world went out for like an hour. I know some people that will legit find the tallest roof and jump. I legit know some people that will fucking do that. That's the crazy part.
What?
I mean, wow.
Really?
Yeah, I legit know some motherfuckers that cannot survive a week without it. It would just mess them up. Mostly women, but it'll mess them up. Oh my god, I can't speak to my Instagram friends. My life is over. And I jumps on the fucking train. The dude's like, oh my god, fucking, you know, that's what I was paying to play League of Legends with me. Damn it. Jumps off the fucking roof. I can already see the reasons. I can already see the list of reasons.
Where the
I mean,
fuck?
I like the internet too. Hmm?
No, I tried to build something. God damn it! This game is fucking frustrating as shit sometimes.
This is why you need to hire a renovator. Get a renovator? Yeah, so I went on an empty tangent there. I mean, but yeah, I mean, I kind of picture myself like being that old fuck from Cowboy Bebop, and just my bitch was playing chess in the middle of fucking space or some shit. So it's just like, yeah, gonna be outdoorsy shut-ins. That's a fucking thing. I mean, maybe Elon had the right idea. Just buy a fidget spinner, a windmill, and just in a long cavity. Just, I don't know. I just have to laugh at this shit. The whole thing is just funny beyond all belief. Yeah. Can't get over it. And then there was one.
Oh, sorry. I was doing the game stuff. Fuck are we talking about? What?
Taxes? I'm kidding. Telegram taxes.
Nah, taxes.
High
as shit, and it makes sense because so many people are on fucking welfare, and that's just what they want. They just want more fucking welfare. So I get it. It is what it is.
in a way, that's kind of.
What?
I was gonna say, in a way, it kind of is. In a way, it's all by design. They get everybody on that, you know, government phone, government everything. I mean, it's all by design, really. You get damn near everybody on that motherfucker. Where you go, how you do it will be controlled. It's about a control thing, so you're not interested in stopping it. That was the whole reason fucking up the family unit. Get the man out. Get the only one in the house with common sense. Get them out there, and then we can focus on the women and children. You know, like train them to be all crazy and shit. So that's what's gonna happen. You know, we're gonna have to go back to caveman days and shit. And it'll take generations, you know, but I imagine, you know, by the time, you know, the Gen Zers get old, you're gonna see some old bitch or something like phones will be like someone will fire EMP or something, then the bitch is gonna be on a rock acting like she's talking to somebody. She hasn't got over the fact that we have no electricity. Her time. Give her time. One of them got the latest wooden
The
one.
wind is picking
I don't know.
up.
I just think it's
There's a
funny as
dense
hell.
dust storm visible on the horizon.
Kind of ironic when you think about it, though. When the world was harsh as fuck, no feminism. Barely a bitch ever complained. The moment things get like slightly comfortable, yeah, take that, you bastard. Oh fuck.
Well, yeah. So
Yeah, damn.
the increased influence of women's dominance over society and men being second-class citizens, that just is what it is. I mean, at this point, I think one of the biggest themes in a lot of guys' lives should be, focusing on what you have control over and not paying attention to what you don't. Like, I understand, men love women, Etsy, they want to be there for them and all that shit, but there's sometimes there's some shit you just gotta let go. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. And
Yeah.
you should, and here's the thing, it's one of those things in situations where you kind of should feel better once you sort of get a better understanding of things, because now you don't have to waste your time anymore. Like, the whole, it's right now in the open for you.
The weather is clearing up. I can see everything again. Let's hope this doesn't happen again too soon.
World.
Like, the whole point about, like, the difference between between men and women, how they love each other. The fact that men have the sacrificial love and the protector provider, and women's basically whole thing is just to basically they just make babies. That's it. They just make babies and get taken care of. They're dependents, and they're not going to be anything different. Like, you can want it, whatever you want, but it's just not the case. And for some dudes, like even now, they found out a lot of stuff, a lot of the information, a lot of the stuff that was talked about. They seen a lot of the examples, and yeah, they go and they date, and they're perfectly fine with it. That's a risk they're willing to accept, and that's how they want to spend their life. That's the thing. As far as I'm concerned, however you want to spend your life is perfectly fine. Just don't try to drag me into your shit. Because I'm kind of at the point where that's the last thing I want. The last thing I want is to essentially... God damn it. How the fuck? What am I doing?
Can anybody see my screen out of curiosity?
I'd have to change what I'm doing, and I can't get off the screen.
No worries. No worries. I was wondering if anybody could see mine. Hey, Arch, can you see my screen?
Who?
He.
Is he even? I think he left. I think he's got shit to do.
Oh, my microphone's muted. Oh,
Did
sorry.
you not know you were muted this whole time?
Yeah, I've got a mute button on the cord of my fucking headset, and it's an easy one to miss. We just sometimes you bump it and you mute yourself, and I'm sitting there talking, and people talk over it. I'm like, oh, okay, fine, just be assholes, whatever.
So no, the whole time, literally.
No worries. I was just wondering if you could see my screen or not. Hey, guys.
Well, I was just having something to eat. I just had to have a couple, I think they were lamb and some weird cheese on kebabs.
And look for a location where we can find more of them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Always I stopped eating lamb because for some reason I never always cooked it properly, and I was worried I'd get sick.
You nearly want to pan fry lamb, because if you get that nice golden, crispy, oily, crackly fucking effect going on it, it's fucking really nice. Lamb is definitely best overcooked, but I would say borderline pan fry it. Not too much oil, but yeah, just enough so that you can get a nice crispy layer on it. Lamb and pork's not too different either. It kind of likes that as well. That nice crisp going. It just gives it the flavour that tastes cooked. It doesn't taste raw. I've had that with lamb when I was young. Sometimes you'd eat it, it's cooked, but it's like it still kind of tastes not cooked.
Yeah.
Jam is
Yeah.
good every now and then.
Anyway,
I was a
Well, no,
little
it's good
curious.
to try different
Anybody-
foods and eat different stuff.
Yeah.
I know I'm one to talk because, like, for a while I haven't really been doing that, but I probably
Yep.
plan to. You know, especially looking how difficult shit's about to start getting. Like, it's gonna get pretty bad. And a lot of the thing that I'm not really too worried about my ability to survive in a sense that. Well, no, technically I am, because otherwise I wouldn't be any worries. It's like, yeah, because I understand how motherfuckers are going to react. So when things get difficult, because people aren't very capable of improving their own situations, they just look over to the motherfucker by them.
Yep.
Because that's how they're going to improve their situation, by devouring you.
Yep.
And my thing is, that's where a lot of guys, I heard some older dudes say that shit, and I'm sitting back and I'm like, man, I don't know if you know this, but normally the youth has an upper hand on anyone older. Like, you know that, right? And they think because of how things have been going for the past few decades that they're going to be able to still hold this status quo even when the environment gets harsher. And I'm sitting here
See,
like,
half of them do know it, and they just don't want to say it out loud because they don't want it to be acknowledged, spoken about, or encouraged. So a lot of them know, but they keep it to themselves for the most part. Anyway, sorry.
True. Out of curiosity, I was asking earlier, can anybody see my screen or no?
It doesn't say you're sharing one here.
Oh, okay.
I can't see it.
Yes. Okay, never mind now.
are you not
Just
sharing?
something
Why?
scrolling up.
I don't understand. Why are you not sharing your screen? What do you got to hide?
On my end, I am.
You've got nothing to hide. You got nothing to worry about.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, I think it's
Oh, you
kind of
know.
funny, and this goes to the ego and the arrogance, and especially with people, we believe because things have been a certain way for so long, that's how they will be. And especially with a lot of older men, I see that, and I'm sitting here like, well, one, I don't think you understand. Have you paid attention to the current environment? So in an environment like this, yes, you'll be perfectly fine, you know, cock of the walk, king of the roost, and everything like that. But there has to be certain things in place for you to be able to do that. And once those things are gone, that's not going to be the case. Now, there are some older dudes, they have their community and shit like that. They'll push the shit in. They're fine. Well, there's other ones, which I'll just call them modern men, because that's like the best description I could have of them. That's not going to be the case for them.
Sucks to be them.
No, fuck them.
Fuck
Because
them.
the biggest thing that I want
Bitches.
people to let go of is this idea, like, all right, cool, you like something because it benefits you, so you're going to herald and try to keep up what benefits you. There are other people who are going to try, who it doesn't benefit them, so fuck them, and of course they're going to say fuck you too. Like, this system, I don't really, like, yeah, all right, so for the modernism and all that, pretty cool and everything, but from a lot of the, I'd say the prevalent culture, the values, like equality and shit, I don't benefit at fucking all. I hate this shit. I'm miserable as fuck.
Research completed.
And yeah, so does that mean I want ill will on you? Well, technically, from your point of view, it would be, because I'd want I want things to be different.
Yeah,
I want into a
it's
system
way.
that shares my values. I don't like all this overbearing government and bullshit. I don't like how all these weak people, they can just grab the government at any time and fuck my life up, push my shit in. They don't have to be strong. They don't have to work at anything. They can just use proxy power. That's annoying as hell to me.
Yep.
Now, to some other people, they like it because that, again, empowers them in a way that they normally wouldn't be. So for them, yeah, they love this shit. But for me, no, I fucking hate it. And that's not something that is easy for me to hide either.
Yeah, Elon Musk. Yeah.
It becomes pretty fucking apparent after a while that, yeah, I'm not really enjoying this shit. And most people, I can't really talk with most people. I don't really enjoy it. Because
Vote Democrat.
Well, what? Well, no, it becomes what they want to talk about. What they want to, like, a lot of that shit just...
Oh well. It happens, bro. That's true. I'm just being patronized. But still. You know how it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Am I supposed to build something here, or do I just leave? It says once I leave, there's nothing here, so I can't come back. But from what I've noticed, there's not a lot of ground for me to build shit on. There's fucking quicksand everywhere. It just destroy my goddamn buildings.
Termites.
Damn, this is expensive.
Alright, so you're just gonna say that and not let anyone know what the hell you're talking about?
Well, I'm trying to order some freaking slow and low, but the damn store stopped selling it.
What the fuck
Kind
is
of
that?
upset me a little bit. You know what slow and low is?
No, please inform us.
It's a drink. It's a rock and rye.
What?
No, whiskey.
Oh!
Slow and low.
Right.
Never heard of that brand.
Alright.
Same.
Okay. I'm surprised. Let me send that.
Doesn't sound sophisticated, that's for sure. It's like
There
the
you
Pabst
go.
Blue fucking.
Couldn't
Past
find in the
Blue
freaking
Ribbon.
store.
I don't know. I don't drink anymore. I don't have anything against it. I just don't do it because I don't benefit from it. So I said, fuck it. I don't know.
I just like it for the weekend. I mean, Walking Dead's been pretty good. Goes off.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I've decided to give it up, bro. Only for summertime though, so like when I can actually the fact that I've got a higher metabolism when I wake up, you still metabolize alcohol in bloodstream. It's not 100 Fahrenheit and shit, and I can actually like break the hangover. Because in Australia, man, I just can't do the hangovers in summer. Like even after 2 beers, the next day I just can't do it.
Oh, that's why you gotta do it in the winter.
Just can't do
It's
it.
cold as shit here. I went through 90% of the year. Man, I gave it like a year or two, but yeah, I went through like 9% of it. It's cold as shit. It helps when it's freezing. Then again, when it gets cold, I don't really eat much, so it's just kind of like, oh, I ain't gaining nothing either. I don't really eat much, just freaking something to keep you warm. It's like it's fucking cold and just crazy.
Yeah,
Plus, at least I got
it's only like it's not really your core body temperature. It's just like your metabolism and stuff like that. It ups all that kind of shit. But fucking I just can't do the summers, and I can't do the sweating, that kind of heat. Like I just can't take it.
Oh yeah, I don't.
Alcohol in my system. Just not a fan
I
of.
don't mess. I don't mess with it in the summer. I think alcohol is good, like around maybe a holiday when it's winter or something. At least helps. But summer, nah. Plus, I cut back like a lot to exercise. Mostly try to walk an hour or two every day, 3 to 6 miles. So it's kind of good to have. But on drinking days, I try not to eat anything really on my drinking days anymore. So I just kind of cut back on a lot, which is good. But the hell,
Excellent. It's even located.
it ain't great to drink and lift weights. Anybody listening to this, don't drink and lift weights.
No, but it'll definitely help you sweat it out. Like it'll help you sweat it out of your system and shit. But yeah, your gains are going to be pretty marginal. You're going to feel like shit. Should never.
Just enjoying it while I got it.
Should never really be working out under the influence of anything, really. Ideally, better for your muscle recovery and shit if you've got a clean system and you don't overdo it accidentally because your nervous system because you're hot or something. Yeah. That's in a perfect world, though, bro. We don't live in a perfect world. But yeah, ideally, best to not do anything.
That's
Caffeine, nothing.
Well, for what it's worth, I don't drink soda anymore. Not for any particular reason. I just don't care for it anymore. I just doesn't really do anything for me.
I mean, you want the sugar rush, the sugar high.
Yeah.
It's just sugar
mean,
water. Like it's just sugar water, carbonated sugar water. There's nothing. I mean, again,
Well,
if
I
it
just
gives you enjoyment, like if like there's things in life, like if they just make life a little better, like if they just make your days a little good, you know, like a little something's there, and that's cool. But at a certain point, you're the judge and jury on where the cutoff point is.
Yeah.
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 I mean, but there've been good strides.
That's
You know, I've been
just what we
trying
were
to
looking for. We can set up a
one
large
day just
mining
cruise the
base in this
countryside
location
for
to
the hell of
support
it.
our headquarters
That's the
and
plan
base
anyway.
station construction.
Sell one car, get something simpler, cruise the countryside, be done with it. So it opens up opportunities to travel at least. Hurrah, pandemic, yay.
Yeah, fuck man. Suck my dick.
No, don't worry, guys. It's not like the government's gonna do anything else to fuck with us. We'll be fine.
No, that's not what government. Government are our friend.
They love us. They're here to take care of us.
What?
Like, you know how
What have
nobody
they got
has
to
dads?
gain by doing whatever?
It's fine that
Yeah,
nobody
what
has
are they?
dads because the government loves us. They'll take care of us.
That's right. That's right. Call 000 if you need help. Otherwise, shut the fuck up and pay your taxes and die, motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's all good. Like, honestly, a lot of young dudes. So, if there's any gang they should
And
join,
respect my authority.
just don't join the fucking government. Don't join that. Don't join.
Oh, I don't know. If you could get an entry-level job there where it gives you good medical cover and reasonable salary, and you get to sort of hide in amongst the clockwork, and you get looked after well when you, especially in Australia, I'd say if you could, if you've got to be like a front man for the government, especially what the government is, you're either going to have to do some bad shit or you're a bad mother to start with, because this government does some dirty shit to people. Face of the. But if you can get one behind the scenes, why go for it? Milk those motherfuckers. Like, get your own tax money back out of them by working. It's yeah, I don't know. They're still evil. Don't get me wrong. I just yeah, do what you got to do, I guess, in life. You know, to get by, take advantage of what you can while you can. I guess there's no point being moral about it, and like it's beans of pieces of shit. Gonna be the moral, upstanding person, one standing last in line. Is that fair to say?
I mean, everyone do what they gotta do, but I mean, it just depends on.
Don't be a
it depends
bitch.
on you. It depends on what you're gonna be fine with. Like, if you like not being efficient and like this bloated bureaucracy and bullshit, then yeah, go for it. You'll be fine. You'll love every day of it. But if you're not into that shit and you don't want to be around those types of people with the type of values that they'll be sort of broadcasting and enforcing, then I wouldn't do it. Because again, there's other ways to make money. So you got to make sure you're finding ways that you'll be fine with.
Bitch. I don't know. Do whatever. I don't care. Human beings are
Did I
pieces of
turn
shit.
this? I think I turned this the wrong fucking way. God damn it.
What I said when I rolled your mum over. Oh, yeah. Why is it my fucking PlayStation controller? Work, motherfucker. What the fucking fuck? Are we? Can you? Oh, okay, everyone's just.
There we
Am I still downloading?
go. Alright. fuck I was talking about. Well, no,
I don't know.
shit, whatever. I don't know. At this point, it's kind of hard to tell how things are gonna go. Cause yeah, they're
Pretty
getting
much.
shit out of everybody. So I don't know in the type of fucked up environment what you should do for employment. Cause I don't know the way I could see it right now. I mean, I will be honest. There are a lot of people I do know who are in government jobs, and they seem to be doing all right.
Yeah, you just gotta learn to shut it out. Like the bureaucracy shit and just do what you're paid to do.
Yeah, that's normally how it works.
Yeah.
Just
It's not gonna be fun, but you gotta do it, and if the pay is there and if the circumstances are there, go for it. You'll only get assassinated with everyone else when they invade the capital.
Guess they're living it up in Hotel California.
Such a lonely place.
Yeah, the bad.
Why isn't my PlayStation controller working? What the fuck? Fucking G. Sorry, Obama.
Base is under attack.
No, not my base. I just built that stuff.
Getting for highway.
Destroyed. An energy connector has been destroyed.
Huh? Fuck. Control. Oh, I know what's happened. It's updated my driver. Fucking shit.
All right. I don't know. I think we've kind of petered out, and I don't think we have much to talk about.
No, that's right. You're too busy sucking at gaming.
Well, no, it's just this game takes a lot. This game isn't like you start off, you don't got shit. You just got to build up from scratch.
Oh, says everyone ever on the face of the planet.
It's hard, all right? You just don't know.
Oh.
You have to leave a bunch of mushrooms, okay, to get here. It's pretty freaking hard, okay?
But no, all right. So the holidays are coming up, and
Fucking hollow.
yeah, I know it's great because people are already. I saw people who were mad because it's cold. I'm like, hold up, this is the weather, and in this state, you know how this is gonna go, and you're mad.
Yeah,
Well,
he's like,
shit
bitch,
you
what
knew
else
was
am I
coming.
gonna talk about?
Yeah, it's like what the fuck? But no, I thought that was weird because I'm like, all right, so now things are getting more expensive, and you've got all these motherfuckers who. I don't know. It's weird. Like I remember it was kind of depressing finding out how many dudes are like going into debt just trying to be in relationships and shit. And then you think about that, and you think about this time. All right, so prices of things are going up. So people who are holding on to their marriage, once your standard of living starts going down, why the fuck would the woman stay with you?
Yep. It's
For
coming.
love, honor, loyalty.
Pink wave of bitches divorcing their men. It's
One
coming.
thing is, there's not even that many fucking marriages as it is.
I don't make up the world, bro. I just exist in it.
Are available for construction.
I'll have you know there are tons of people who are in loving relationships with their hand. Some of them women.
True.
This building is a local version of
Two-finger discount, damn it.
It will allow me to reconstruct.
Which is fine that they.
It has a
Oh man,
lift station
is my
that we can
yeah.
lift jump to at
Son of a
any
bitch.
time.
It will also allow us to automatically transfer all of the resources that are mined in this location back to our HQ, even if we're not present in this location. We can construct a network of such outposts around the planet to build up our economy. It's the only way to acquire enough resources to construct
Man,
a
I
rift
don't have
station
enough
and
fucking
all of its components.
Be mindful of where we place these buildings.
That's what I used to say to my
Our
ex.
headquarters have a capacity limit of how many outposts we can support at once.
She'd want the D, and I'd be like, nope, sorry, honey. Out of
We should deconstruct it and recycle the
What?
resources
Yeah. See if you're paying attention.
Well, no, my point is, no, because this is the
Let's
same
make sure
shit.
to
There's
set up
nothing
solid
new
defenses for this outpost.
happening with any of this shit. So times get hard, bitches bitch, and they complain, and they don't want these men that can't provide them shit. Because I don't know. But my thing is, the difference in this story is that there's not going to be this huge, like, yeah, they're going to give welfare until it runs out. Cool. But once it runs out, there's not going to be that moment where, oh, I
It's getting
decided to go
cloudy.
do this other
It looks
shit.
like it's going to rain.
Well, that's going to be it. And what I want to see, well, no, I won't want to see because I'll be dead. But it's going to be interesting when it does happen, when everybody basically pops off, because which is still, again, it's one of those things where it's hard for you to see from your own point of view and acknowledge that there are people who are dependent on systems like welfare and such. And yes, they will kill, riot, and maim and burn shit down because, quote unquote, their money is not being present anymore. I don't know. I know that sounds. I know. It's like, hey, aren't you black? You should know. It's like, yeah, I know, but I don't be around anybody. I don't be around other black people, and especially people who are like use those programs and all that shit. So I'm sorry if I'm a little out of touch. You're not black enough for you. Ain't black. That's fib. We all know you ain't black. You ain't even vote Democrat.
Barely even.
You probably didn't
He's
vote
barely
for
even
Biden.
charcoal. Get him.
Yeah. You ain't got enough melanin.
Barely even brown.
That's a problem. You got a
Beat his
melanin.
ass.
What was your GPA? You probably like to study. Fucking Uncle Tom. It's like, oh, you
I
got
can see
me.
somebody go, yeah, I caught him reading the other day. He was using all the words.
Yeah,
Man, I don't know
this
what
motherfucker
it's
has a
supposed to be said.
vocabulary. Yeah, I saw. I thought he was listening to some Tupac. It was a fucking audio book. Bluetooth turned off. Heard everything.
Do some pussy in front of him and he didn't even care. The hell is going on?
I don't know. I'm too white for this conversation.
Right? So no, I've seen the STD, which I'm not going to bring up because I could grab those articles and those stats and all that shit. There's no point. Like at this point, if you're not picking up what's being laid down for you, you ain't been paying attention. You ain't black.
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, I once got called a beacon for white supremacy because I happened to buy my alcohol at a German store. Apparently, that's all it takes. The requirement's been kind of, set pretty low now, so I'm waiting to issue my robes eventually.
Yeah, the bar is low. They're letting anybody in the white supremacy now. So yeah, start talking about how to improve your credit score and not get a criminal record. Listen to this fucking sellout. Fucking Uncle Tom.
See, I'm waiting for my Harry Potter owl in the mail. I better get a fucking owl letter. I'm waiting for that shit.
I bet you read all the books. Like, yes, I did. I actually read some of them while I was in juvie. Yep. Juvie read some Harry Potter books. They let us
It was either that or butt sex.
It turns out I didn't want any butt sex. I was too busy trying to look at those Harry Potter books. Yeah, guess I ain't black.
Yes.
Whatever.
That's why we really need some kind of Harry Potter thing. I mean, like House of Sexism, the House of Misogyny, the House of Sexism.
Yeah, how come all the black kids that were in Harry Potter weren't, all, slang with their fucking spells? Run up going, "Nigga, cut a nigga's dick off, Bellicus," or some shit. I didn't see none of that. I thought that was a.
It's because
No, if they did put,
it's because it's
if they
hard
did
to
that
hold a
in Harry
wand
Potter, what
sideways.
they do is they'd make them African or some shit. But I guess that's like the ultimate black. And so-
That way they can be super racist, play tribal music every time he's screen.
something. I don't know. I'm not a writer or a creative type, but I know it'd be something like
That's
that.
true. I feel like
Indian,
it's a
quick,
missed
cue the
opportunity.
drums.
Yeah.
I'd love to direct that movie. I love the direct that movie. You know, drive-by spells, holding the wand sideways. There needs to be a whole thing for this. Good hell. I mean, I'll be like a little student on them damn thing. That he should be sent to the house of sexism. 4 points. All of them bitches.
I remember
More
why it
points
takes
than anybody
so
there.
long, 'cause trying to build shit. There's my wall, right there. But no, yeah. So I don't think as far as movies and shit, I don't really give a shit about them that much.
True that.
It's not that really fucking important.
What?
It'd be nice if they were actually like, if they had some shit, like cool shit going on in them, and you know, like some relevant messages and all this other stuff. But that's not what happens. So it becomes a point where there's no point in paying attention to them. I saw, like, I've seen some movies. What was that movie? Violent Man, with that the dude who slit that kid's throat at the end, which I kind of felt I saw coming. Like it was just kind of apparent that was about to happen. It was like, hey man, he's just in prison. He's letting you know this. He's got this turmoil going on, and a place like that where clearly there's no healthy outlet. I got a feeling he's just gonna kill that kid.
Get ready to
That's exactly what happened. But I think my point was, look, yeah, I've seen some movies that actually had, you know, they have a good point. Like they actually have, I wouldn't call it more of a message, it's more of something for you to think about. You know what I mean? Like they just sort of put a question to you. Like, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? You know, have you looked at it this way, looked at it that way? Like that type of shit is, I enjoy shit like that, but where it's one where they're pretty much telling me
Base
what to
is
think.
under attack.
Like they're letting me know, like, hey, you need to think this, and this is appropriate, and this is not. That's where you can go fuck yourself.
But your thoughts must be controlled.
Oh yeah, I understand why. Man, why it's like that. You know, it is all about control. You get the power. You know, you got the people. Especially if you can control all the men with guns. You can do that. Hell yeah.
has been destroyed.
You don't have to worry about shit. Anybody tell you nothing. I mean, shit, you could be a pedophile drug addict with evidence of you being a pedophile drug addict, and you'll be perfectly fine. Now, you could steal an election, and nobody will do shit.
Base is under attack.
That's why it's so important to get power.
Reach in our walls.
Just remember to sniff people before you do it. You know, you have to have hair that turns blonde in the sun, and gotta beat up corn pop first. There's a trial. It's a heavy trial you gotta go through. You know? Corn pop was a bad Republican. Been confirmed.
Right, Republican.
I just say vote Democrat. Like speed up the process. Let's speed up the process. Let everything go to hell. I want to be able to identify as a fucking snow leopard and maybe get my owl in the mail. I mean, I'm
Oh
waiting.
man, they're attacking me from both sides. I didn't even see that coming.
Base is under attack.
There's one red and blue.
Damn it, this
One
robot
was red,
doesn't
one
run
was
very
blue.
fast either. I'm coming. Don't break my shit. I just paid for all of that. Fucking piece of... Alright, it wasn't a large group, so that's not that big a deal.
For the greater good.
I'll be making a trip to the land down under when the world fully goes to shit. You know, we're gonna have to rebuild some stuff. Just gonna knock on your door and be like, "Oh yeah, they call me Big Slap Prime now." Don't ask why. The women will know. They will know.
Australia doesn't exist, bro. It's a myth.
Of course it is.
Base
Everybody
is
knows
under
that.
attack.
Alright, so I don't know.
Gotta
I
be.
thought only thing that I've been doing that's kind of new is going to the gym. They got some equipment because basically it's winter,
Interesting.
and
We should go and
instead of
investigate
just
that area.
stopping running completely, I'm like, I'll just use their fucking treadmill.
Yeah, but treadmills suck, bro. It always feels like you're mashing the fuck out of them once you start to get to a jogging pace. I just don't like the feeling.
No, it's not the same as actually just running like down the street
Eh.
and like running in your own set route. It's not the same at all. But I'd
Yes.
rather do that than just nothing. So I'll just deal with it for the winter, and then after
I'm
that,
okay with a treadmill. I mean,
do something completely different.
Yeah, you can
Not
always
that
use
bad,
stairs
but
as
it's
well.
perfect.
Stairs are fucking.
Not enough
yeah, you
coal.
get a good workout. I use the treadmill and the stairs. You know, just if I knew what gym you were going to or what route you walk, I'd get one of those like big hamster wheels and just follow you around. I mean, just for the hell of it, giant hamster wheel, going places.
Yeah, they're okay until you want to stop and I'm still going.
True.
Then you got problems.
Yeah, just whatever you do, man, don't jog downhill because I'll be right behind you. It could be bad for the both of us. Giant. You know, they used to have this thing where people would run away from this giant cheese wheel. I don't know, somewhere in Europe, somewhere. They had to stop doing it because too many people were getting hurt and shit. But it was funny to watch.
Man, I
Yeah.
didn't realize how much I'd be end up getting into this game. Holy shit. So, I'm supposed to be talking about stuff.
Oh shit, Sherlock. We're just
At
covering
least you
for
have
you.
to eat it afterwards.
Warning.
What?
Hostile creatures are coming
What?
from a nearby nest.
What?
We should go there and clear it out.
Where's the stream? I had the stream up.
Nobody knows.
the only one- It's the only way I can see what you're actually doing because you stopped sharing it.
No, I didn't. Did I?
Did, bitch.
God damn it. I thought I
Making my life hard. Scam and shit.
God damn, I didn't build any fucking buildings to defend my shit.
Classic. Dog.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm gonna build them now. But I'm probably gonna run out of power. So. Oh, I did build some. Oh, shit. In the wait, all the way down here. What the fuck is all the way up here?
One of our walls has been destroyed.
Ah, damn it.
Place to die.
Yeah, it's clearly not the right way. So holy shit. All right, this map fucking
Base
sucks.
is under attack.
Alright, god damn it. Alright.
Thinking Christmas Day I'll just take my motorbike and ride for 2 days. And then that way when anyone rings Christmas I can just ignore it and just say, oh no, I was riding my bike on a trip while I was having a break.
Warning. A new
And then I don't have to listen to anyone all Christmas.
coming from a
First time in my life I don't have to be annoyed on Christmas. Because my brother's a douchebag. I don't really
What?
capital S. I really don't want it.
What are you talking about? What are you-
Christmas time.
Christmas?
Yeah, for Christmas break, I'm just gonna ride from Christmas, Christmas Eve until Boxing Day. I'm just gonna hop on my bike and ride. Like I said, I can ignore my phone then and say, no, I was busy, sorry, I couldn't take your call.
Oh, I don't know. I'll probably just be doing some nerd shit. That's normally my go-to. It's like, oh, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
I
but
don't
what'll
know.
happen is,
Fuck! I
what'll
forgot.
happen is,
There was some
someone
shit I
will
was
come to
supposed
my
do
door.
today, and I just remembered it.
yeah, that's the
Damn.
only catch, so someone will come to my door, man, and like, oh, well now I can't come to me, fuck. So if I'm not here, nobody, fine.
One of our buildings has been destroyed. An energy connector has been destroyed.
Our base is low on power.
Yeah, no shit.
I've really learned to hate children.
Alright.
Why is it so easy?
I don't know. Children don't bother me. The adults do.
I hate children. Too neat.
Children are the future.
Warning. Hostile creatures
Sure.
are coming from a nearby
Yeah.
nest.
As far as I'm concerned, they're the living
And clear
past.
it out.
Fucking spreading shit. Pretty big game.
What now? What?
Base is under attack.
It's a pretty big game. What
Oh yeah,
I
this is a
said.
whole nother fucking level that I gotta build everything up with while the animals are just fucking destroying my shit, and then I gotta get the power going and all that shit. So it's like, yeah, this shit is awesome. Going through all this shit again. I don't think there's a way to connect the other world in this one. So I think it's just all on its... Wait, is that this one? Yeah, I think it's just all on this.
It's only not like SimCity.
No, it'd be nice if all the shit was just connected, but it's not. So you go to the other world, and technically I still have resources, I guess, from the other one.
But you're starting from scratch.
But yeah, a lot of the other shit is from scratch.
A bit like Terraria. After you get world, you start. What? You might have some stuff in your pocket.
Warning. Hostile creatures are coming from a nearby nest. We should go there and clear it.
Oh dear.
Alright, so...
I should save up some money. Do you see how cool the 4090s are? Aren't they awesome?
What now?
4090 NVIDIAs.
No, I didn't know. I don't know, man. I don't be keeping up with shit. I'm still using my fucking RX 580.
Base is under attack.
We'll see the 4000s, the 4090 twice as, I think, 2080 Ti or something, 3080 Ti or something like that, something ridiculous. It's one of the big generational leaps they've had for the 1080. So it's a pretty big monster of a fucking generation. It's a shame that the 30s hyped up so much. The 40s SARS.
Well, as far as like well, from one of my concerns, as far as like graphics cards and stuff goes, as long as I can, because some of it's gonna be some CAD work, but that will mainly be, I'm probably mainly gonna try to do that from the server. So other than that, I kind of don't like, as far as games go, it won't be that big of a care because those aren't gonna be priority.
Well, CAD's only going to be an issue for model render shit. It's, other than that, all the other calculations, they're all done on the... So CAD, you should be okay.
Yeah, that won't be a big deal. And those would be, so basically that
Mainly memory.
That'd be a GPU for my server anyways.
Yeah.
So for as far as for my PC, I don't really play games enough
Warning.
to really be like, hey man, I need to make sure that I need to get, it's like, I'll eventually, if it gets to a point where, I don't know, I can't play any game, then yeah, getting the new one will be nice, but it's not going to be priority though.
Oh, well, it'll be on the cards for you in the coming probably 2 years, because what'll happen is that 580s fucking come uncompatible drivers that are no longer released for your version because drop support driver updates. That's when you'll find you'll have problems. But other than that, it can still get to run in some way, shape and form, you know, a compatible fashion. Go for it, I say. Like, I like to get a 4090 wrong, but I know I won't, because I've barely 2080. Don't get me wrong, I've used it. It's not like it used that much the next big latest thing. What I do want, the only thing I really want is video RAM so I can run some complicated Minecraft mods, add-ons and shit. Texture packs and shit. The 8 gig, I think it's the 8 gig I'm limited to on mine. It's not enough, and the 12 on the 3080 and 3080 Ti is not enough. The 3090's getting there, but I want, if I'm going to go a 90 series, I may as well go with the... But in saying that, like I said, I can't really justify that much other than the lack of memory, video RAM. So I'm actually going to go the other way for a while at the moment. I'm actually downgrade and just use a USB hub, not a hub, like a docking station, as a mobile phone, as a computer, go maximum power savings, because apparently the cost of electricity is going to go like up triple or like that. So I'm looking at saving as much as I can, and fucking inflation's over.
Yeah. So a lot of my priority is gonna be different shit. Cause yeah, I'm well aware of what's gonna be coming our way, and like what's there to do but just get ready for the end, my friend.
Da 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 da. Yeah.
I mean, I was looking at places like Brazil and Mexico, and I kind of let that go. I'm like, oh, yeah.
They're good places to go to die.
Yeah. Yeah, so essentially, but one thing I will say, there are no good options. So I pointed out before, like
Warning,
especially
a
with
new
my
group of
situation,
hostile creatures is coming
and I'm
from a
like,
nearby nest.
how long it takes for the government to actually like fucking go away. And a lot of guys, I'm like, hey, if you're like enslaved to the government, they're not just gonna turn that off while everything's going to shit. You know that, right? Like, they're still
Yeah,
gonna
that's
work
exactly
and
right.
work.
It only ever gets worse, man. Because as it gets worse and people don't want to participate or comply as much, or, it only ever just gets worse and worse. That's how you end up with like inflation. It's a runaway effect, and it's the same thing with this kind of authority and authoritarian tyranny. Is it only ever escalates as people begin to push back, as they've had enough, and more different types and groups of people become more aware and they push back. So then they have to become more authoritarian, and more people see that it's a bad thing. They fight back, and the government has to get more authority, and you just have a runaway effect, and that's how it always leads to war. It just naturally escalates, bro. Unless there is some sacrifice that's made along the way to de-escalate. If they parties stand their ground, it will inevitable. It's just human nature.
Well, this time it's going to be different because I actually do believe they're going to activate central bank digital currency and whatever all that other shit is. The ultimate attacks. They're like, oh, we know how to deal with you people, and yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, they need to split the money off, man. They learned that from the protest in Canada. If they can switch their money off and the funds, fucked. That's
Yeah.
why I'd advise anyone fucking like have a bit of fucking cash, fucking hidden away somewhere safe. That's fucking well and truly, is going to be safe. You might need that cash temporarily, cut off, or even accidentally cut off them. It can take a long time to connect back to it, like bureaucracy to shut you down and stop it. But then when it comes, going the other way, very slow to work. Very slow. So you want that cash up your sleeve, man, and that's why a lot of those protesters, them were lucky. They were like, had like 10 grand in cash side just in case, all this kind of shit. But a lot of people were like, yeah, we want to pay for even our kids, our siblings, fucking shit like that. They got cut off, fucking. So yeah, and there'll be a push towards that. It's like a turn off. It's not this big hard thing to organise. Take away someone's, sit on a computer and say, yeah, shut down such and such's account. If they got no money, they're fucked.
That's it.
So yeah, I'd recommend that. At least 2 or 3 grand, even if just in case you need to be able to pay for basic. Oh, no, fucking have a look.
Well, at this point, I mean, once that's been implemented, you might as well call it just
creatures
GG.
is coming from a
We're
nearby
all
nest.
slaves. So because inevitably, when you do something like that, people are going to try to find their own different systems of barter and all stuff like that. And all
Yeah,
you
no, with a
do
parallel system.
yeah, and you just incentivize people to basically shit on other people.
Yeah, and when they've got an option to go to other than the one that's fucking them over or fucking around, they'll go to it.
Under attack.
And that's how you end up times of transition, turmoil in countries past. You've had changes, of behaviour and regime, fucking that kind of shit. Yeah.
I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, it is what it is. It's just at a certain point. Well, no, this actually, it's one of those things where you see men get disheartened by it because you grow up and you hear this thing about your word and all this and these stories and everything and this history and people portraying this character and all this masculinity and all this shit. And you find out all that's bullshit. That all those heroes and everything that you heard when you were growing up, all those stories, that's exactly what they were.
Yeah.
Just stories.
No.
Totally.
Goku is real, and no one can tell me otherwise. Fight me.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, that is true. It was all designed to be, you know.
That's back when men were men. It's like, yeah, when again that was they had I guess they had their purpose, their identity. They weren't like they accepted, you know, hey, I might die, but it's worth this, and all these things are valuable. And then now we shifted it, so yeah, what they value is none of that shit. That shit doesn't mean anything to them. The only thing they value is that their wife thinks they're a real man.
Yeah.
Damn it. Where was my cutoff point? I'm too far.
I know.
So we'll see. Well, yeah, we're all gonna find out together. All this shit with this doom and gloom and all this other shit and death and everything, and we're all gonna die and go on the pods and eat the bugs. And, yeah, all that shit's nice and all, but I don't know.
I don't know about nice, but it is what it is.
It's just like, yeah, it is what it is. There's no point in just catting on about it forever, because what the fuck's that gonna do?
True that.
On the phone for 22 miles.
Somebody driving?
Drive
Yeah,
away,
that's
Miss Daisy.
Driving over Miss Daisy.
Yeah, squash that bitch. She screamed at me one time when I overtook her.
You guys remember that movie? What was it? Stay Tuned. And that John Ritter about that fucking basically that satellite TV system from hell, and they got sucked into it, and they had to spend 24 hours going like through all the shows and shit, and trying to survive. Kind of a fucking surreal kind of movie, but it was a lot of everything, and it was parodies of stuff that was going on at the time, and like Northern Exposure, it was Northern Overexposure, and like these two dudes were like freezing their asses off, and it was one of them was driving over Miss Daisy, like you see the dude, the chauffeur, and all of a sudden plop plop, and he puts it in reverse and plop plop, then puts it in drive again, plop plop, just keeps on going. Yeah, that's where I got that from.
And
I don't. You talking about some guy who was running over some old lady?
What, am I breaking up?
A little bit.
You
Yeah.
guys like that shit? Well, motherfucker.
Yeah, this isn't the best. This stream is gonna go down as pretty terrible one.
Worst stream
yeah,
ever.
come on.
It's like,
We're
I don't know.
No, I
At this point, what was really expected? I don't know. It's like I was gonna come in fired on all cylinders. We're gonna get into it. It's like I'm an old man. That's not happening anymore. It's like you get what you get.
Come on, man.
Yeah, come on, man. It's a 9mm. Blow your lungs out. You guys doing it there?
We ran with a bad bunch of guys.
A new group of hostile creatures is coming from a nearby nest.
Yeah, Core Pop was a
Take
bad
the
dude.
straight razors and bang them on the curb and put them in a rain barrel and get them all rusty.
What? You don't? What?
He literally said that. Talking about banging them on the curb, getting them all kind of chewed up, and then leaving them in a rain barrel to get rusty. And he literally said that shit.
Base
I
is
mean,
under
if
attack.
you're I guess if you're not really trying to,
Disturb.
yeah, because that all that, well, because reality, you do want them really, you want them really sharp. Like you want them real fucking sharp because you want to cut the shit out of somebody. Unless, well, no, in reality, you know what? I don't know. I don't get the whole point of the straight razor. I do get the point of stabbing somebody though. That makes sense. Like, cause think about it, if I really want, like, if my goal is to kill you, then yeah. But if my goal is just to maim you, like, if my goal is just to injure you and scare you, then alright, cool. I'll just use, like, some dopey ass fucking razor, I guess. But at that point, like, all you have to do is escalate the force. Like, if you want that to stop, you just have to take it to the next level. So
I see you played Knifey Spoony before.
I don't know. People, they have all types of reasons. Like, I
Warning.
never understood that
Hostile
part of
creatures
you
are
want to
coming
do
from a
crime
nearby
without
nest.
doing
We
crime,
should
though.
go there and clear it out.
It's weird.
Yeah, come on now.
Ah, come on, that's weird. That's weird as hell. Makes no sense. You might as well escalate it all the way. What are you doing?
Chick, bam.
Yeah.
Just try to get the
The
girls,
wind is
man.
picking up. A storm is coming.
They were the real N-word. They were the real ones. You know, gotta have some tattoos and criminal records. They out here trying to get.
The storm is very violent, but our base is safe from the wind. Wind turbine output is at
The in
maximum
crowd, I
levels.
guess.
Remember how good back when relevant?
What?
I remember. I remember.
I don't even know what you just said.
Tell mama.
What?
Remember back when in the day when
A new
Tonk
technology
game
has been
relevant,
developed.
part of like gaming culture?
Construction.
No.
Weren't they
no,
good
no.
time? No, they were good time.
Like, I remember, I don't know. Well, I grew up a little different. But
Warning. A new group of hostile creatures.
Well, I mean, it probably wasn't an enjoyable time in your life, but it was a time in gaming.
I mean, there were some games that, like Tony Hawk's. Tony Hawk's was always a funny one. I don't
When
know
the
why.
first one came out, was to max that out at a couple of million. That
Played the
it was
shit
pretty
out of
good.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Still
don't know
got
why
my
I keep
copy.
saying Tony Hawk's when it's just Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I know, everyone says that.
Tony,
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck that
Tony
came
Hawk's
from,
on a
and I'm kind of
skateboard.
mad that I was saying it like that. I'm like, hey, what the fuck?
Because there's an apostrophe S pro skater. Tony Hawk's pro skater.
Okay,
That's
so then
the-
that did come from somewhere.
Yeah. So people just, I guess Tony Hawk's. Okay, yeah.
The storm is over.
I picked up a copy of what the hell was it? Tony Hawk's Ride that actually had the skateboard, the motion skateboard. Fucking, I tried that for like 3 minutes, could not even get anywhere on it. I had to pick up the controller. Like, fuck this shit.
I probably wouldn't try that anyways.
Come.
Well, I was a big fan of DDR because I mean it's pretty good exercise, but I'm like, oh wow, motion controller, all right. Then you had to like reach down to the side and
Oh, dude, with those games,
and all this
man.
shit.
From a nearby
When those games come out, I went, oh, this fucking scam. They've turned fucking games from something fun into like basically a babysitter for kids. And then they demanded that that babysitter make you do nothing but work out the whole time as babysitter. I'm like, no, I'm good. No thanks.
That was pretty cool as an arcade experience. The home
I was like, bitch,
experience,
get me
you gotta
my
get the right
fucking
controller.
control pad, or I'm going to fucking take a dump on the floor and tell mum that fucking let me toilet, and I shat my pants. Go, bitch.
You don't want to play video games where you have to do fucking algebra and trigonometry and calculus and shit, but they disguise it like it's fun gameplay.
Not when I was a kid, and you'd be a retard if you didn't.
they juked the shit out of us in school doing that shit. I remember when I was still going to school, it was a couple schools we still had fucking Apple IIs. And they go,
carrots
"Oh,
and
we're going to the
celery
computer
are
lab.
good foods. Yeah, sure, they're
We're-
good for fucking
We're going to the
rabbits.
computer lab today.
Yep.
Yay, we're going to the computer lab today." And then you get in there and, all right, everybody play this. And it was called Remedia or whatever the fuck it was. It was a math game. Like, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's when I was like,
Y'all
hang on, just let me fucking alt tab out of this and load up my discs of fucking Commander Keen,
Warning.
fucking
Hostile creatures are
old
currently
fucking
on Earth.
Apogee game.
Stay there and clear it out.
Fucking
don't get me
play.
wrong.
I got
Don't get
kicked
me
out so
wrong.
many
Don't-
times for doing that, eh? I fucked heaps of their computers by like just putting my own operating system on it and then playing games. So,
Oh,
uh,
well, now don't get me wrong. Number Munchers was fun, even though that was a math game there too. But this other
I
one
remember
was
like wearing the
solve
World
math
Cup in
problems,
San
real quick.
Diego. That was a classic.
I played it a little bit. I like the TV show a little bit better, but
Nah, this is way before TV show, bro. This
Oh,
is back
yeah,
when
yeah,
you could
yeah.
get a copy of it on the that was monochrome. Back when you had like the orange and black or green and black fucking only fucking monitors and shit.
Yep.
That's when I started playing it, and then there was Frogger. There was another one on there too. Forget though, but Frogger's another one I remember playing a lot. Yeah, I'm old school.
Oregon Trail. There was Odell Lake. Odell Lake was where you were a fish, and you had to decide. Like different things would come up, and you'd have to decide whether to hide or eat whatever or run away, and you had to try to survive through. I don't know, so many decisions and shit.
What's another one?
Warning. A new group of hostile creatures is coming from nearby lands.
Clockworks. There was Number Munchers, Word Munchers. There was Clockworks. That was basically just make your own clock, and it was a whole telling time game. Very, very basic, but it was always fun to make the bomb, the clock that was the bomb, and then when it went off, it exploded. Everybody just booted that up just to do that. Yeah, shit. One of the schools I went to in 4th grade was still using a fucking ditto machine for, running copies off of worksheets. Like, don't nobody even know what the hell a ditto machine is now.
You insulted.
The ink always had that weird smell. But yeah, I mean, talking about like video games and being a babysitter and shit. I mean, my mom used to say that shit all the time about, I thank God every day for Cartoon Network and Nintendo. That's the best babysitter I ever had.
Creatures is
God,
coming from a
the
nearby
weird
nest.
thing is,
Thinking-
I guess like it's a
thinking about it later.
it's an odd gift. As you can see blatantly how full of shit the thing about women being great mothers just naturally
Yeah.
automatically is. Like it's
Yeah.
really
Well, I always liken it. This is how I explain it. I normally say that it's like how everybody used to think they could blindly trust priests with kids and shit, and look at how that turned out. And now it's the same situation when they're blindly trusted. Look what fucking happens in society. Look what they do, how they behave. Same fucking thing.
yeah, it's pretty
You can't blindly trust somebody who have that much faith and belief, power in society and not expect it. Of course, they
like they teach that shit and all types of stuff, but when it comes to women, it's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you, misogynist? Of course you
Little
can
bit.
blindly trust them. It's like, no, you can't blindly trust anyone. Anywhere. In fact, how much you trust somebody is always up for question. It's like that's something that has to be reassessed because people change. the circumstances change, the environment, all that shit.
Warning. Hostile creatures are coming from a nearby nest. We should go there and clear it out.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, what did I do? Oh, I killed dinosaur. Sorry about
I
that.
used to always get in trouble as a kid. I was told I didn't want to listen to nobody. Come to find out later on, yeah, I didn't listen to anybody because I knew everybody older than me was full of shit.
They are.
You know, my mom used to talk all this, you know, go to school and get good grades and do this, do that. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, but, like, you didn't get your fucking GED till you were, like, 28. You know, you didn't go through school. You ain't fucking doing nothing but, you know, laying around watching TV, smoking cigarettes, drinking coffee, you know, whatever, watching TV, fucking partying, drinking this, that, whatever. You know, it's... How in the fuck can I believe anything you say when you don't exemplify the shit that you're fucking saying?
That is true, bro.
Holy shit.
My mom one day, this was a little while before she passed away, was talking about me and my sister. I don't see how two kids who grew up in the same household with the exact same things grew up to be two totally different people. I'm like, well, we learned. I'm like, we learned by example. So I learned by watching you and knew what not to do. My sister saw what you were doing and went, hold my beer. And you know, it's just...
I could outdo that bitch. Watch this.
Yep.
Which is...
I got pictures from...
Like, honestly... Like,
I got pictures from years and years ago. My mom took, you know, some of the fucking parties and shit they had and everything, and I mean, you know, just a bunch of drunk motherfuckers doing whatever. And in almost half the pictures, there's my little sister just standing in the background, just, you know, just there, like, hey, how's it going? I'm a part of everything too. Like, what the fuck? See, a lot of the gaming that I did when I was a kid was basically to pass time, to have something to do.
Base is under attack.
You know, you go over whatever, you know, all the adults are fucking drinking. The other kids are too young really for me to hang out with. So, you know, when you're in that middle position of, you know, too old to hang with the kids and too young to hang with the adults, you just kind of cluster yourself off in one of the kids' bedrooms with the Nintendo and just fucking stay there. That's what I did most of the time. Like, well, it's something to do.
An energy connector has been destroyed.
Yep. That is a true statement.
Base is under attack.
yeah, being a kid sucks. Because you're just stuck with fucking adults. Who quote unquote have your best interest.
Yeah, it's... I've had a couple of people over the years I've talked to, you know, younger guys. Oh, you know, hey, my parents suck, this, that, whatever. I'm like, hey, look, you know, I understand ain't a whole lot you can do about it now, but you eventually will grow up and you eventually will move the hell out on your own, hopefully. And so, you know, you'll get to a time where you ain't got to put up with that shit. But for right now, just try to make the best of it because there ain't a whole hell of a lot you can do. I mean, it sucks.
It's slowly getting dark.
I was
looks like there's
fucking
a solar
chomping
eclipse
at the
starting
bit
right
when
now.
I turned 18 to get the hell up out of the house, and I still stuck around for a year helping to keep bills up and shit.
Reality has moved.
My mom pissed a lot of that money away.
Hostile creatures are coming from a nearby
Fucking,
nest.
you know, cash my check on fucking Tuesday and come back and be a fucking bag of weed on the table and fucking half the goddamn neighborhood over there smoking it. I'm like, Mom, we really don't even need to be buying this shit, but why in the hell we got everybody around here smoking off At least
Oh,
you're
'cause
gonna
that's how
buy
she
that.
makes sure she
fucking-
gets more provision. So she smokes her weed with them. So when she doesn't
social
have
thing.
weed, they smoke their weed with her.
Yeah,
Get
it's a
it?
social
It's
thing.
like doubling the weed.
Them motherfuckers were broke as shit. I mean,
Again,
Some-
I didn't say that was actually smart or coherent or it made sense.
oh yeah, no,
Yeah, he just stating straight facts, bro. Doesn't make it good.
That's just what they do, and they're retarded as shit.
No.
It's like, hey, I got an idea. How about we not smoke weed to get
I mean-
jobs that require drugs?
Let's share needles. It's cheaper.
I wish I'd have never let my mom talk me into fucking smoking and everything, but
Oh well.
it was kind of funny. For the longest time, I always stayed in my room and stayed away from her. It was only until I started smoking weed with her that I had something in common with her, you know. And
That's not
if I
good.
wasn't stoned, I really couldn't even hang around with her.
Yeah.
That's really not good. That's horrible.
No, that's not good.
The
I
eclipse
pissed my
is-
fucking 20s away,
These events may occur from time to
basically
time.
staying high and playing video games and watching TV. I fucking regret that shit.
That's all right. I mean, a lot of us have wasted time. Like right now, look what I'm doing. I should be asleep, and knowing that I got this huge workout I want to do tomorrow, and then after that I want to study, because I'm planning on taking this test next month. So it's like, yeah, but honestly, I don't spend a lot of time socializing or doing anything else besides work, exercise, and study.
All work and no play makes something.
I don't know, makes me a little homicidal sometimes. Like, a lot of aggression I don't get out anywhere. A lot of people think if you
Yeah.
go, like, fighting practices and working out that you do, and I'm like, no, not really. Like, you need to understand a lot of that's really controlled aggression.
Well, not only that, like the whole time you're working out, it's not like you're going to be sitting there staring and talking to people while you're huffing and puffing and red in the face and covered in sweat and shit. Trying to focus on your counts and reps and shit. Like, yeah, it's not a very social place for the most part.
Correct.
Like, let's have a deep and meaningful eye contact while we both rip some curls. Grrr,
Yeah.
grrr, just staring at each other and shit.
It's like, what the fuck? Alright.
Now, we've been social, motherfucker.
Yeah. Look at my pecs. They look flat? I can't tell. Somebody get over here. So, yeah, I don't know. But no, it is what it is. You know what I mean? You just find the things in life that you enjoy
Hostile
and you
creatures are
practice
coming
that
from a
shit.
nearby nest. We should go
Yeah.
and clear it out.
Yeah, I got to get motivated this week though. I've got a place to go to that's cheap. I'll get.
Oh, damn, they destroyed a shit ton of shit. God.
Don't you hate it when you got a big job ahead of you and you know you're putting it off, but you're like, yeah, but I justify putting it, so it's okay.
Well, as humans, we can justify anything.
I know, I know, it's easy.
Oh yeah.
Once you practice the skill.
Yeah, right? Like, it took a lot of years to master this.
Rationalization.
I could make myself okay with not doing shit at any time. If I want to stand back. Take some notes.
It's like it's inverted. What's the name? The fucking. Oh fuck! I forgot the hero's name. Deadpool. It's reverse Deadpool. Instead of maximum effort, it's zero effort. Minimum effort. Marginally just enough effort.
Well, I mean,
There's a
lot
joke. There's a joke in
aspects-
there somewhere. Salvage it for me.
I can't. So I don't know. Like in society, there's a lot of stuff. That's why I don't encourage government work for the youths, because
Yep.
they're not gonna, like, as far as you reaching your potential and being better and finding like the best you that you can be for yourself. That's not gonna be encouraged, like, at all. That's gonna be deterred.
Yeah. Bit overrated. Self-improvement's masturbation.
I mean, think about it. If you can push yourself to get more shit done, to be, to be more skillful for yourself, to obtain more, then the main benefactor, hopefully, would be you. Like, that's...
One would hope.
Yeah, that's what I would hope. Like, and again, yeah, I will admit, a lot of times this can be a lot of projection. I'll say that. I'll admit that right off the rip. So before I go on like a long ass tirade about some shit. It's like, yeah, just because that's been your experience doesn't mean everybody else. Yeah, I 100%. Yeah, I agree. There are a lot of people, they put in effort and they don't see anything back that they would say would commensurate for what they put in. And so they don't see any point of going down that path at all. I get that 100%. We're all different. And as far as it goes, as far as what we value, especially with our time and energy put in, we all see a different worth on that. That's 100%. That's perfectly legit. That's fine. I get it.
Warning.
But
A new group of
that
hostile
is one of those
creatures
things
is coming
where
from a
you're going to
nearby
have to,
nest.
like, people are just going to have to bite the bullet in life on that. There's a lot of things you're going to put in a lot of fucking work. You're going to put in a lot of sweat. You're going to feel this and feel that. But your feelings aren't an indicator of reality. All they are actually is just your feelings, they're just emotions. So,
Yeah, they fade over time, bro. Try and remember how you felt fucking 15 years, 3 months, 27 days ago. You won't remember, but I guarantee you at the time you...
oh yeah, at the time you were like, oh, it's so fucking important. I'll never forget this.
I'll die! I'll die!
It's so terrible. Oh my god. After a while, it's like, oh,
Next minute.
yeah. It's like, I don't remember any of that shit. Like, yeah, I guarantee you didn't.
Remember back when the dog died? Oh yeah, that fucking four-legged flea bag. But at the time I was all like, oh, it's sad. And now I'm like, bitch, you beat me there. I've got to put up with these dickheads. Anyway, I digress.
Nah, it's true. People suck and life sucks. So, like, you shouldn't mourn the dead. Svetnaz, in his video, he put it differently. He was like,
let's move out of its way and
oh
repair what
shit!
we can.
Goddamn tornado just breaking my shit. That's all that stuff always getting fucking broke. God damn it! I hate this game.
That's why we can't get good stuff.
Holy shit! Why am I playing this game?
Don't know, bro. You're a sucker for punishment.
Clearly, that's what this is. I ain't even got the resources that. It's like guys who keep going back to OnlyFans models trying to find a girlfriend.
One of our buildings
What the
has
fuck
been
you doing,
destroyed.
man?
Warning. Hostile creatures are coming from a nearby nest. We should go there and clear it out.
You gotta fake it to make it, bro.
Let's assess the damage that it's done.
It's like, yeah, if I give her a couple thousand, maybe she might let me take her on a date. Just saying.
Give me a couple thousand and I'll suck your dick.
It's like, that is an expensive ass blowjob. I guarantee it's not worth it. That is, you've got to be retarded.
I got these cheeseburgers, man.
Don't you know that the female human place in the world?
I'm gonna assume you were breaking up, so I'm gonna assume you're saying the female human mouth is one of the dirtiest places in the world.
Ah, he did the meme. He did the meme. I'm so proud of you. Come a long way. Son of a bitch.
Fucking inspection station. And then down here, fucking Laredo, Texas. Fucking going through there yesterday. And, fucking border patrol every goddamn where. But, yeah, shit, there was fucking...
Warning.
Shit, this one damn place that was fucking...
You know what to do with the border
150,
patrol though,
200
bro, is you just gotta put a flag up that's got a taco on it with a big red line through it. No tacos. And then you're laughing, bro, they'll let you through anywhere.
Well, all they ever do when I come through is, you a U.S. citizen? Yep. Anybody else in the truck with you? Nope. All right, go on. It's like... No,
In the
but
meantime,
I mean,
there was someone in the truck. Is that the moral of the story, or?
He's like, yeah,
No, I'm just
I've been doing some coyote work on the side for months. Nobody
Coyote,
knows
yeah.
shit.
Old Conseco in the back is safe.
Wasn't that shit funny about a year or two ago when Trump was talking about coyotes bringing people across the border and people actually thought actual coyotes were fucking dragging children over the
Oh
border?
no, that's so sad, and that's like if they were talking about the Black Panthers in history and shit, and someone's like, they really let all those wild cats run around and attack protesters?
Oh man,
Yep.
times were different then. Holy shit.
These motherfuckers are like fucking Jumanji out here.
Yeah. Oh, God damn.
Oh, gee.
Well,
Oh, guess you gotta do what you gotta do.
A new group of hostile
yeah.
creatures is coming from a nearby nest.
Nah, but shit, I was going through this one area. It's fucking, I mean, God, had to have been 150, 200 fucking people they had all rounded up. And I don't know what the hell ever. And then, shit, not even a quarter mile up the road, there was another group of about 50 of them. Like, what the fuck?
Doing what? What? Oh, you said round it up.
Basically, you know, coming over the border.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah. So that's
Yeah, yeah.
Where my mind went. It's like, oh yeah, they're trying to get some of this sweet, sweet air of freedom. It's not really all that free. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Welcome to the land of the free. Get on the ground, get on the ground.
Yeah, we need your DNA and fingerprints right now.
We're so free.
Holy shit. Which is like, it is what it is. I mean, but me personally, well, because one, I'm not really a fan of certain aspects of my life. I'll admit, that was my fault. I shouldn't have had sex. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, that's how you, like, literally, if you have sex and you end up getting a woman pregnant, you end up on child support. A lot of people don't know that, but that's how that happens. So if you don't have sex, though, you don't get women pregnant, and you don't end up on child support.
Warning.
They're like, oh, we're a
Hostile
condom. I'm like,
creatures are
yeah,
coming from a nearby
if
nest.
that shit
We
fails.
should go there
though,
and clear it out.
I'm not gonna explain the birds and the bees to all of y'all. Pretty sure it's smart enough.
You just gotta man up, bro.
Well, see, that's the thing. I handle my business, but I'm not gonna be somebody's abused little fucking slave. Like I literally played it back in my head, and it's like, yeah. So as soon as they realized what it was, as far as my family was concerned and that woman was concerned, they just got a bitch. They just got a slave, and that's exactly what I was going to be. And I don't know. I found out a lot of things about myself through the years, and one thing I found out is, yeah, I actually don't like. I don't like being treated like a slave, and I don't like being abused. I don't even like the idea of somebody getting ready to do that. It kind of puts me in a space where I'm like, hey, man, it's crazy because I got this odd feeling that if I fucking kill you, you won't do that anymore.
Yeah,
Just a
dead
thought.
people don't cause problems.
Yeah, I know. It's odd how maybe that might be the answer to this situation that we find ourselves. Oh, my fucking water pumps, bro.
Ferrari is so relaxing.
Hostile creatures are coming from a nearby.
Where you going, bitch?
You should go there and clear
They
it out.
just looking for a place to bury the body. No, I mean, it got so bad with my first girlfriend there right toward the end, I couldn't even stand to hear her breathe.
God damn.
It was getting that bad. That last, like, week or so. I just, looking over at her just thinking, do you even have to breathe? Like,
I'm detecting a
this
large
just
group of
end.
creatures heading towards our position.
No, she doesn't have to breathe. Just make sure she stops doing it after you. Get one.
she got everything she ever wanted. She just didn't get it off of me, thank God.
I mean, that's what counts. Like, I mean, it's cool if a person
I mean,
has their wants and desires and needs, but essentially that's why, like, I thought about that, like relationships and all that shit. If I was actually, which is not in my lifetime. Like, as far as I can tell that I've got a pretty bad ending coming my way, which I'm not honestly that broken up about it. It's perfectly fine. I mean, that's how life is supposed to go, anyways. But if I was like, if that ever, like, the whole point of like dating and shit like that, it's like one thing I have an issue with is make your expectations and what you fucking want very clear, so that way nobody wastes each other fucking time. Because honestly, if I met some bitch, right, and she's like, you know, I want this and want that, I'd be like, oh, well, I can't and won't do that. So you're gonna, pretty sure there's some other dude. I'm not gonna waste your time. I'm gonna be out of here. Peace. But they want to play this game of we're moving the goalposts and to get you ensnared. And the goal basically is that you'll be so invested and that they'll have so much leverage that you'll just have to go along with it any fucking way. And yeah, that's stupid shit to me. Honestly, I get it, because basically it's from I'm speaking from a point of view, so it's a difference in perspective. Because I would be the one who'd be taken advantage of. I don't like that type of arrangement. I don't like that type of approach. And I want something that would benefit me more, which would be more of a direct approach. Where
Yeah, I'd much rather somebody give the option to comply rather than enforcing it upon me. Like, the very fact that they don't give you that option, why I say no.
Well, yeah, they don't give you the option to say no. They wanna put it to a point where you're already basically you already agreed. You didn't even know you did, but you did.
Challenge accepted.
And yeah, that's
no,
cool.
no.
That's where a lot of these fucking murder cases come from. I'm like, holy shit, fuck is wrong with y'all?
No, I went through that shit too, because you know,
under attack.
I mean, you get to a point in time, you're sitting there with her, and
Warning.
oh, this is great and everything. Oh, we want to do this, we want to do that. You promise me you'll this, and you promise me that, and you know, of course I was stupid. Yeah, oh yeah, I promise. And then later on, you know, I'm not getting what I need out of the relationship, and I'm trying to talk to her about, hey, you know, you should be doing this more and whatever. And it's like, but you promised all this. Yeah, I promised the girl that promised me all this other shit. You know, I didn't agree to fucking.
Oh no, but it's a woman's prerogative to change her mind. See, she's okay. It's okay. She didn't lie or deceive, and she's not being selfish. They come up with whatever justification they want.
Well,
Don't worry about that.
I got the whole thing of, oh, it'll be great. We'll move in. You know, while you're at work and everything, I'll keep the house clean and I'll have dinner ready when you come home. And you know, when it actually comes down to it, you know, I'm fucking cleaning the house. I got to come in from work. I got to cook dinner, but first I got to wash dishes so I have something to cook on to even make dinner. And after about a year of that shit, I'm getting tired of it.
I fucking refuse. I'm sorry. Because I remember when I used to work an actual hard job, and if I come home and do what? You must be out of your fucking mind. Because what I do is I come home and I work out, and then if I didn't have time, if I didn't feel like studying or I was just really pissed off and really wanted to work out, I just work out until it was about time for bed. So then I'd eat something and go to sleep. And if you think I'd go to work and then I'd come home after a hard-ass day and then I'd cook for another fucking human, that's probably didn't have shit going on.
It was there all goddamn day by themselves.
No. Hell no. Well, I'm gonna get the government. Well, that's fucked up because I'm about to...
I seen this thing on Facebook the other day, and it goes, talking to his girlfriend, he goes, would you like to be dating the guy who's struggling poor guy who always needs a hand and behind and stuff? And like, no thanks. And he's like, yeah, well, to me, you're that struggling guy.
Yeah.
I thought that.
No, because that's true. Like, one, like a lot of dudes, think about it. You're not going to tolerate like a fucking male roommate like that. So with a lot of these women, like, all right, once sex is taken off the table, what are they? So they're weak, they're stupid, and they're just manipulative as shit, and they won't do anything. They just act like they can't do shit. And that you have to do it for them, cuz. Like honestly, once the rose-colored glasses of women are so awesome is gone, they're really retarded children. They're fucking.
Why do you hate women,
They're
bro?
not very capable either. Especially when you start seeing through people who like pretend to be intelligent by regurgitating shit, and you start noticing, it's like, all right, so women suck. I get it. They're weak, stupid dependents. Awesome, 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 awesome. And they'll only make my life
Warning.
worse. Oh,
A
that's
new
even
group
better.
of hostile creatures is coming from a nearby nest.
Oh, her and I got into a big argument over fucking thermal expansion. Out of all fucking things, go figure. We're we're laying there in bed one night, and you got the fucking baseboard heater and shit. You know, it's kind of winter and everything, and it kicks on, and it starts heating up, and it starts doing that tick 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 tick. You know, and she's, what's that? What's that noise? It's space. It's the heater over there. Well, why is it making that noise? What's doing that? I said, you don't know. It's things expand and contract in the heat and the cold, respectively. Like you didn't,
Yeah, the
did
roofs
they
in Australia
not?
at the time.
They do not. I'm like, the hell they don't. Like, she was wanting to argue with me
Wait.
over that, and I'm like, I'm not.
What?
I'm
That was
even
real. She really tried to argue that? No,
Yes,
that's
yes.
Not a thing.
and I'm like, I ain't even gonna argue over this shit, whatever. So we're sitting there. It was a month or two later. We're watching fucking TV, and I don't know. We were flipping through the channels and got caught on this show, fucking Food Network or whatever, and it was some shit about this store that they bragged they had the world's largest candy stand, and it was like, I don't know, fucking so many feet, so many inches. And the dude's like, yeah, in the summertime, because of the expansion, it might be, another 2-3 inches longer because of, the expansion.
Warning.
And she
Hostile
looks over at
creatures
me,
are coming
punches
from
me
a
in the
nearby
shoulder,
nest.
and goes, you
should go there and
motherfucker.
clear it out.
I'm like, what? Yeah, it's like, so you always gotta be right all the time, don't you?
Oh, I can't help you're retarded,
Like-
babe. It's like, what
That's
the
like,
fuck?
Thank you for stupid.
That's why I said, I didn't make that shit up. Like,
It's like-
I had nothing to do with that. That was determined a long ass time ago. You asked me a question about the space heater. I told you. You didn't like the answer. And when it got confirmed on a fucking other TV show, some random fucking point in time, you still like, you just gotta be right. Fucking.
That's actually really annoying. So, yeah. Well, I don't know. If somebody wants to deal with that, a solipsistic fucking child with the power of the government to destroy your fucking life, you have fun with that shit. That doesn't make sense. Now, I could understand if they didn't have sort of this, if they weren't first-class citizens while you're a second-class slave. Cool. Because again, at that point, they're just, they're retarded children. Like, what the fuck? They're not a threat. Like, don't let them catch you with a knife while you're sleeping, but still, it's not a big deal. But that's not the case of how we find ourselves and how things are going. So,
I mean, that shit notwithstanding, I think a lot of that fucking playing dumb shit she was actually playing. I think she was smart, a little bit smarter than that, but my God, I mean,
if that's
like,
the case,
I
then
did love it.
it wasn't actually about whether you're right or wrong. It was about you agreeing and complying.
Yeah,
So essentially, it didn't matter what the actual facts were. What it was supposed to be was that whatever she said, you need to go along with it, or you need to show that you believe that. So her opinion should be your opinions, should be our opinions. Sort of that type of retarded shit.
she loved to play that game too. She moved into that apartment I was in. And when it came down to like important decisions and shit that needed to be done around the place, oh, I'm not gonna clean your apartment. What are you, crazy? But then we talk to people or whatever. We're hanging around and, oh yeah, go back home. My system at my apartment, whatever. She butt in our apartment. I'm like, whoa, wait. So it's our apartment when it's convenient for you, but it's my apartment when shit needs actually done. Oh, okay. It's just.
What are you, a plebeian? Do you not understand?
I'm like, technically, you ain't even supposed to be here. You're not even on the lease.
Worship vaginas and die.
Oh man, don't say that to a woman. She's gonna accuse you of fucking DV. She'll get on the lease. That's how she's gonna do it. Like, fuck, they'll do that. A lot of guys, I remember I got called crazy by a lot of dudes, and like they didn't understand what I was saying was 100% true. I'm like, hey, there's a lot of legal shit. So if a woman needs to get on the lease or whatever the fuck, she will. And she's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
do it by
A group
fucking
of
you
hostile
over. Like, you
creatures is
need to
coming
be
from a nearby nest.
really cognizant of that. Like, really, really, really cognizant. So it was, I don't know, but they swore up and
Remember,
down
it's
I
a
was
system
wrong
that will
with
always
it.
favour her, bro, and you put her in a position where she's got some kind of actual legal authority on paper. Kiss your ass goodbye.
Yes. So that.
See, I knew that shit even then. You know, I mean, we were together, you know, living together for a whole year, and we didn't do shit at all to prevent any pregnancy or anything like that. I don't know how in the fuck I didn't fucking get her pregnant out of all that.
Because she didn't
Jesus,
want.
man.
She didn't want to get pregnant. That's. I.
At that time, anyway.
Yeah, that's no
No,
mystery there.
she wanted to. Well, okay. The logic
Yeah,
that
they
I'm
say
using
it.
is that she was on that fucking depot shot or whatever the fuck for a while, and I heard that after you stop taking it, it takes about a year or so for everything to completely fucking wear off. And so, I mean, no, we were there for a while. We were actually trying, and fucking nothing was happening. But still, it was all the, you know, well, when are we going to get married? When are we going to this? When are we going to that? And one day I finally broke down and fucking told her, I'm like, look, I got a feeling I'm going to come in from
Hostile
work.
creatures are
The
coming
kid's
from
going to
a
be laying
nearby
there
nest.
screaming and
We should go
hollering,
there and clear it out.
you know, covered, you know, hungry and shit, covered with shit from fucking nipples to knees. Why don't you go and clean your son or clean your daughter while she's sitting there fucking watching TV or playing video games?
Fucking
I'm like,
Candy
that's
Crush.
what I see when I look into the future. Why do you think you know, you don't want to cook, you don't want to clean? I even, like I said, I gave her the benefit of the doubt with the cooking part because, oh, I don't know how to cook or this. Okay, you know, well, come in the kitchen, I'll show you. We can do this, you can do that. There's all different kinds of things she did not want to learn at all. And it just, yeah, after a while, it just, you know, when I got to come in, do every damn thing, and then she starts bitching about, you don't respect me. What do you mean? You don't buy me stuff? You don't take me anywhere? I'm like, well, first of all, with what fucking money? Like, fucking paycheck to paycheck, basically hand to mouth at that point. I'm like, I got to get a better car to get a better job. We got to tighten up on some things to be able to save up the money to get a better car so I can get a better job. So, I mean, what's it going to be?
Oh,
You
that's
know.
for you to figure out and her to reap the benefits. I know the answer to a lot of these. I've been practicing.
Oh, that's been fucking years ago, long time ago now. Yeah, I've done figured all that shit out too. She just didn't want to do
A new
anything.
group
I mean,
of hostile creatures is coming from a nearby nest.
talking about the whole respect thing. I'm like, well, you don't do anything around here to be respected anyway. I mean, I tried to get you to clean and cook and whatever. Well, I didn't move in with you just to clean your apartment. I got pissed. I'm like, well, what the fuck did you come here for? She gave me that fucking look. Huh? Well, what I mean is, you know, you want to have a family, you want to this, you want to that. This is part of it. So, I mean, you ain't gonna do that. What the fuck are you here for? What the fuck are you contributing? Well, I fuck
Access
you,
your
don't I?
resources.
Research complete.
Yeah,
I
right.
fuck you, don't I? I'm like, yeah, that ain't paying the bills. That ain't getting shit done. Like, I almost told her, I said, you know, it was the town I lived in at the time. I'm like, do you have any idea about this town and the reputation this fucking town has? I mean, there's a goddamn bar on every fucking corner. If all I wanted was sex, there's a lot more time and cost-effective methods of going about getting it. So hell, I can run around in one of these bars here, go pick up a single baby mama, whatever the fuck
Well,
around.
that's what I say to them too. Is
Sunday
if I
morning,
wanted
get
a
the fuck out.
a prostitute, I could just. Well, that's what I used to say to them too. If I wanted a prostitute, I could just go down the corner and get one of those. I didn't really put the effort in to build a relationship with you just to have a cheap prostitute. Like, it's going to be like that. Get the fuck out. Get your own taxi.
Yep.
But you know, it's not worth it anyway. It's stop regardless. Good riddance to bad rubbish, I say.
Well, as far as I know, she's got a couple of kids now. The dude she's with, I don't even think they're married to one another. I don't even know if the fucking oldest one is his. Whatever. I mean,
Gross.
Yeah, it is what it
hope
is.
like no, she got everything she ever wanted. I mean, I damn sure didn't seem to be able to give it to her. You know, just
That's the whole point. Is once you really start understanding, like once you know the full cost of some shit, you can make better informed decisions. And so that's why it's kind of at the point now with like a lot of dudes. It's like, hey, you can say all this shit and you don't know this and all that, but once the information is available to you that you can get all the information very clearly, then there's no real like once you take on that endeavor, yeah, you may have hoped for this, but it's been explained to you. You can see clearly what you're going to get, though.
And clear it out.
Yeah, the writing's on the wall.
oh, I mean, you know, hindsight and all that. But even then, just well, I mean, that's what I get to with somebody with fucking. Well, she claimed she had bipolar. I really didn't see that, but she had that fucking borderline personality disorder, which I definitely saw that. Fucking any little fucking thing, it was like a slight on her, and I'm like, no, I just like the couple of times she did want to fucking make me something to eat, she would fuck it all up, and I'm like, well, you know, if you did this or you did that, it would be better. Oh, well, I just can't do anything right for you, can I? Well,
No,
I mean, you wanted to go
clearly
through all the
cannot.
effort of.
Fuck that.
You wanted to go
Honestly,
through all the
after
effort
a
of.
while, I'm sorry, love can't stop something like that. I'd have to tell this bitch, like, hey, you need to. You're. This ain't working.
Well,
you gotta go.
She wanted to make me a bowl of ramen one day. I mean, fucking low effort, but what, you know, whatever. I'm like, all right, whatever. So she makes it, she brings it over to me, and she overcooks this shit. I mean, I couldn't even pick this shit up with a fork. It was just falling apart. I'm like, honey, this is way overdone. I can't even eat this.
It sounds like that's like
She boiled it in a pot.
Well, that's the way I like it. I'm like, yeah, okay, that may be the way you like it. Here, you eat it. I can't eat this. This is horrible. Oh, well, I just can't make you happy for nothing. I'm like, well, you wanted to go through all the effort to try to make me something, at least make it the way I like it. I mean,
Warning.
shit.
Hostile creatures are coming from a nearby nest.
Just-
We should go there and clear it out.
Yeah, but then she'd have to care about you enough to that to memory to know to fucking next time and shit. No, that ain't gonna happen.
what? She needs to focus on herself. I mean, come on, man. You know what this is. You know what you signed up for.
Shit. Patriarchy, motherfucker.
Yeah, evil penis bearer. What kind of shit is this? And honestly, that's exactly what that is.
Paint so many.
As far as that's where, again, after a while you have to do an analysis on things. Sometimes the hard truths are there. So if a woman is treating you like that, and far as she's concerned in that relationship dynamic, she is the prize, and you are just lucky that she's around. And she shouldn't have to do shit. You should be putting in all the effort to make sure that she's okay, and the fact that she would even have to consider doing something for you is some bullshit. You should be happy she's even with you. That's that type of shit where let that bitch go. Let her be on her own.
Yeah, she tried to tell me that. She tried to tell me that in a roundabout way.
Yeah, I
looked
could tell
over at her
because
and said,
that behavior right there is that. So that type of shit, it's like, no, you have to go. You have to get the fuck away from me, because I'll be damned if I'm going to do this. Because what's going to happen, if you would have let that play out, eventually you would have killed that bitch. That's where it would have went. Now, you would have slowed, no, that's not my intention, and it doesn't matter, because basically you would have been treated like a slave, treated like shit, and eventually there would have been that fucking snapping point.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, it sucks. As men, like, a lot of times we find ourselves
Equal lefts and equal rights.
shouldn't. But the whole point is at least we can, like, at least we got something from the situation. It's like, yeah, some pussy. It's like,
Yep.
no, dipshit. We actually got an understanding of how we don't want to be treated. The shit we don't want to put ourselves through. A better understanding of our fucking self-worth.
Yeah, I mean, that whole talk about fucking, well, I didn't come here to cook and clean for you and everything. I'm like, you seem to got this twisted. Like, you're not here because I need you here. You're here because I want you here. Like, I was able to, I had this apartment for a couple years before you came along. I was
So you need to
cleaning
understand
myself
something.
and doing all this shit. And
From that
like,
person's
you know,
point of view, it's the same thing. Because as far as they're concerned, they're looking at what benefit they're going to get from you from being there.
yeah,
So you can say that, but they were going to look at your actions, and then so as far as they're concerned, doesn't matter. Same result. So what's the difference? As far as they're concerned, you just said a bunch of words for no reason.
yeah. I mean, she knew the situation. I mean,
It's all right, man. It happens. We go through some of that shit in life, and then we go through when we're younger, and then eventually we get older, we end up getting wiser, and we realize not to put ourselves through shit like that again.
yeah. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yep.
But, I mean,
A large group of creatures heading towards
wasn't a whole hell of a
Ain't
lot
gonna
I can do
change.
about it.
That's right.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the whole point is the reason why reflecting on stuff like that even has any benefit is because, like, again, you go through and you say, hey, now what got me into that? Like when I was making
Hey.
those decisions, what did I actually factor in?
I was desperate, stupid, you know. I just
Yeah,
wanted
and
some
look
fucking
and see.
coon
Now,
tang.
pay attention.
Look,
Now that
you know.
behavior. Look what that behavior draws. Look at the type of people that pop up
Uh-huh.
when you display those type of things. It's just like what Nietzsche talked about with the man wandering. You wander, and what do? You get mistreated. You get someone who realizes you are, and then so they take advantage of you. Because they realize at that point that there's a possibility that your value is lower than what you actually should be valuing yourself at.
Yeah.
So it's
Or your ability to defend yourself and stand up for yourself is compromised. And
We should go there
Target.
and figure it out.
I think it's that whole thing too of, you know, why women want bad boys and all this other bullshit. They really don't like the nice guy, the fucking guy.
What you
guys
gonna
got their
do?
Shit together, the whatever. They want a guy who's worse, you know, more ill behaved and, you know, worse than they are, so that they can lord that shit over somebody. It's
a lot of it's narcissistic. They say most people are attracted to somebody that's like them in a way, and that's kind of what that is. They tend to
that's
supply and gravitate to each other.
that's why I got out the whole.
Love scum.
That's why I got out of that whole bullshit. Fucking ain't been with nobody in a long goddamn time.
approaching our base.
Because was basically like, well, if this is all I'm going to attract, then, you know, the hell with that.
well, no, yeah, because there's no benefit for you.
Well, this is what we were saying before: is people who want somebody else to be responsible, wanted to take care of everything. No, and that's what that is. Those types of people who are codependent, attracted to those types of people who are also fucking, comfortable. That will always be a true thing, that people are attracted to that.
Warning.
Prove me wrong.
Hostile creatures is coming from here.
You are robbed. Point B.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can't win them all.
Master at debating. Cultivating these skills for years.
Black Sherpa.
You know, on top of the.
How's the military-industrial complex?
on top of the people that I seem to
Hey.
attract, I also
He's talking shit.
Out of everybody.
I mean, on top of the people that I already tend to attract, I also don't like the type of person I am when I'm in a relationship. I can't stand the highs and the lows and
New buildings are available for
Oh,
all
yeah,
the
the
drama and
emotional
bullshit
shit.
that goes along with it.
Yeah. Well, you gotta remember, as humans, our brains are dynamic. As
Yeah, it's
fuck,
pretty
so we're not
draining.
Dealing with that shit a lot. When it comes to you, it's like I don't know, it's like heroin for a
It can be
recovery.
overwhelming.
Sensory
It can be
overload.
overwhelming
Yeah,
at
it
times.
just fucks you all up. So I could understand that. So yeah, that's why I mean,
A new group of hostile
you know,
creatures
baby
is coming
steps.
from a
And like
nearby
honestly,
nest.
like if you were like to date or some shit, and you tell a bitch like, hey, I ain't trying to rush in and be nobody's Captain Save a Ho and move in with a bitch out of the. Look, let's just chill and take shit slow. And she's like, no, I need a bad. She clearly knows that number one. She clearly it has nothing to do with you as an individual. She needs someone to fulfill a certain role. And she needs that to fill the role fulfilled immediately. And once that role is fulfilled to her liking, you will be discarded extremely quickly.
She'll move on to the next. Sure.
So,
You get that fucking talk of, you know, oh,
Exactly.
keep going. What are we now? And it's,
two individual humans about to separate paths. So
I mean,
yeah,
I tried to explain to the one, like, look, you know, I want to live with you and everything for a while, and you know, feel each other out and kind of get a thing going before we actually like really totally fucking commit. Because I mean, as I told her, I said, you ain't really doing nothing to help around here. You know, like this ain't gonna work out for me in the long run. So, you know, why should I?
I used to say that I love fucking your pussy and everything, but I'm not here to raise you like your father. It's a bit gross that I have to hop into fuck something that I have to child.
Warning.
Yeah,
A new
Yourself.
group of hostile creatures is coming from
And then they get a bit upset.
who gives a shit?
They get a bit upset.
Look, they can have the government and all the men to show up and kill you or whatever. I don't care. But their feelings don't mean much. Like, here's the thing, and this is where I get pissed off that we have this gynocentric fucking mindset in society. Your feelings aren't an indicator of reality. They don't dictate fucking reality, and that's not. Again, that's why people want this fucking power where I feel a certain way. So now, no. Because I got this feeling you don't have the fucking force it takes to back that kind of power to fuck up. But you want somebody to give it to you just because you exist.
Or they'll make the government do it to you.
Well, that's the whole point why they like this bloated ass government fucking system. 'Cause that way, look, all the things that would normally give somebody that type of ability or shit like that, they don't have to go through those channels. Instead, they can just simply, you know, hey, I don't know. I don't understand it. Maybe I'm autistic.
Okay.
I'm just catching on now. But yep, early 30s, caught it.
Don't know, bro. Don't know if it matters.
I don't think it does. Does it?
Oh, well.
Is it important? I don't know.
I don't know.
I wouldn't know. I'm autistic. How the fuck would I know? Find somebody who's not autistic. Ask
There's
them.
a Rain Man joke in here somewhere.
Somewhere.
Warning. Hostile
It's not,
creatures
I
are coming
think,
from a nearby
I know
nest.
I'm too
We should
tired
go
to
there and
catch it.
clear
I
it
don't know
out.
where it's at. Like, this
Didn't he
is
say
late
that
as hell
line?
for
It's
me.
the Wabner. It's the Wabner.
What?
There's some weird word he used in the joke or something. Try to work Rain Man into this joke somewhere. Fuck
I
me.
don't think I saw that movie. I'll just be honest.
Excuse me, I'm PJP. I like to joke. Excuse me.
I don't know.
Tough crowd.
Maybe I should have saw that movie.
Oh.
I just didn't. But I didn't see that movie. I don't know what that means for the fate of society, but I tried, everybody.
We live in one.
Yeah, we do.
Live in
Unfortunately.
one.
I mean, but all in all,
It seems to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone. Could be paradise and you put up a parking lot.
I mean, things aren't that.
Sorry.
No, well, I mean, we still got some time to enjoy shit until like the real shit starts. So, I mean, I would honestly like
I'm around the corner.
yeah, you might as well just enjoy your
A new
time,
group of hostile
get some
creatures is coming
prostitutes,
from a
get a
nearby
sex
nest.
doll. I don't know, pick up some hobby you've been wanting to try. You know, start hitting up your bucket list. Which is weird because people should have been doing that already.
Change your name to Brad Pitt and then go and sell a heap of sperm to the sperm bank.
Do it.
You know your babies are going to be everywhere then.
Because people should have been doing that already, anyways. Like honestly,
Go for it.
because the
Get
fact
married.
that going to die was always on the table. That was never not on the table. That was always a thing. So there should have never been a point where you were putting everything on. Like again, just like motherfuckers who are like, I'm gonna retire in my 60s and stuff. So basically, your whole goal is to work, basically be miserable until you're old as shit, so you can't work.
Yeah, duh.
That doesn't seem like, to me, that just doesn't sound right. I'm like, something about that seems flawed. It doesn't really add up. I know to somebody else, they're like, no, this shit is brilliant. I'm like, I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem to make sense. Because you're not really spry at 60, so you're not going to be doing a bunch of cool shit. How about you find stuff you actually want to do, since you have to work to live anyways. Find shit you like, and just keep doing that until you die. Find different ways to do it. Oh man, I could do this. I could gain these skills. I could start a business doing this. Shit like that. And also, don't be afraid to mix it up. And if you're really worried because it's like, hey, I got this family, just don't fucking have a family. But if you do have a family, realize what you just gave up. You just gave up that ability to switch and change jobs.
We should go there and clear it out.
Because you know you might have to take a pay cut when you do that.
That's right.
So life's about trade-offs. I mean, you can't plan everything perfectly, but you can kind of get an idea of what the fuck you want. So let's do that. Let's start living like that. I mean, it doesn't matter that we don't have that log. You still can do it.
Well, child support costs me about 200 a month. Child support costs me about 800 a month. So I mean, if you factor that in over 20, that much a month of how much you could have saved and what you could have, that's enough for its own to fucking shit.
Can't construct any more.
Yeah, that's one of the things that it sucks when you realize that they're taking a lot of possibilities away from your life. But again,
Yep.
some dudes might not like to hear this, but if you can't even be in your kid's life like that anyways, why are you even allowing the baby mother or whoever to even fucking contact you? And if you have members in your family who are like, oh, I'm friends with her and I talk to her all the time, and they reporting shit on you, cut them off. What are you doing?
Oh, not talking to you anymore.
Because they're not your
Yep,
friends.
that's right.
Like, as far as family goes, they're not on your side, they're on her.
They've clearly chosen poorly. They've chosen poorly. Like, everybody in life has to make decisions of, you know, sometimes are a question of loyalty and trust and faith and belief. Shit, and sometimes people make decisions they think that are okay or are good. And you just have to go, well, they've made that decision, they have to, I don't really agree, and I'm not going to talk to that person. You kind of got to weed all that shit out of your life, man. That's one of the hardest things to get older, is keeping shit out.
Yeah, it gets difficult, but for a lot of guys, they find themselves, like, even in these weird-ass times they find themselves in, you find yourself like, oh, about child support. Dude, one, you need to understand how people talk, and and also identify when they've chosen sides. When they chose where it's at, like, especially if you're black, like, you need to know they're going to choose the woman's side. That's just how it is. Like, that's a straight-up matriarchy. Most black dudes, especially, are brainwashed pieces of shit. And the women, like, it's the sisterhood. What do you expect it to be? So you probably need to cut ties. So I hope you have a way of taking care of yourself and being pretty self-sufficient. Because it's going to get pretty rough out there.
Not enough
But if you
carbon.
can do that, honestly, if you could do that and you can start making
Yeah.
it for a while and take care of yourself, you'll be fine. You just have to remember, like, hey, they're not your support system anyways. Think about it. So if they were to help you, what are they going to want in return?
No, that's right. Even if they... Yeah, exactly, not only that, but what help could they really provide as of any use anyway. That is nothing
Hostile creatures is coming
platitude.
from a nearby nest.
So that's where you got to realise. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's not the safety that you'd like to have in your life. That could play that role if you fail and fall, and stumble, they pick you up or help or stop you falling. They won't. That's just wishful thinking. A lot of that's because we like to love our friends, our that are close to our lives. Reality, total.
Well, a lot of
They'll
guys
make
don't
decisions
wanna,
that are in their own bed. Sometimes that goes.
Looks like the earthquake has uncovered something
yeah, a lot of guys don't
interesting.
want to be
Let's
alone,
investigate.
which that
Hey,
comes
Mr.
from
Abyss,
weakness.
you're lucky today. It's a new
So
resource
get
deposit.
strong and get swole, and you won't care about that. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, I'm not even, I wish I was making this up. The stronger you get, like mentally and physically, and you're able to like learn all these skills and take care of yourself and stuff, a lot of that shit won't bother you. Is this not bringing in water?
Oh, because human beings are pieces of shit. They now no longer fear God or about anything really to do with government failing. You've got to use the intimidation of being bigger and more of a threat to people to get them by and to go along with just being evil and half decent.
Warning.
Because now we live in a time of depravity. People way with treat like shit, they'll try to. And trust me, they will line up to try.
Oh, hell yeah.
So yeah, sadly, with the world now, we self in a position where if people aren't concerned about repercussions of their actions, treat you poorly, they're going to treat you poorly. Guarantee you that.
Yeah, you just have to be aware that that's how people are. Like when I was younger, I'd sometimes just try to see. You know what I mean? Like you just try to see if people are gonna do that, and what you find out is, yeah, the fuck they are. So as you get older, you stop playing that game about.
I still do it now at my age, man. I still am constant. No, I still test people, man, occasionally here and there, because sometimes you're in that position through work or some business, something. Time, yeah, you still need to test the water. Some people are fucking going to be dirty. And found that as time goes by, the more people are more likely to be dirty fucking thing than they are the dirty thing. That's definitely a ratio that got to the point where, yeah, like I've said before, pieces of shit, bro. Absolute pieces of shit. Beans, scum.
Warning, a new group of hostile creatures is coming.
Yeah, humans are predatory as fuck. So it's, I don't know. It's just something I always remember. Like, if there's food on the table, they're gonna eat it. And also, since you're, especially if you're a man, like you gotta remember, and you can see this. So when you get hurt, look at who's laughing. Now ask yourself, does anyone show any fucking concern? After a while, you start realizing that no, that's not just one of those things that's letting you know when you get hurt and somebody's laughing at you. That's letting you know how they really feel about you. Like, no, that's not true. I'm like, no, that's no shit. That's actually legit 100% true. So, yeah.
Your channel's recommending. I can see what you watch when you bored. Nothing.
What you said about channels recommending stuff?
Yeah. Well, down under the video, it's got Cinema Sins and it's got Mostly Facts and Interact, Ordinary Gamer, Wild Spetsnaz, Jay's 2 cents, sorry. I don't know why I keep saying Jay-Z. Yeah, that's interesting. There's some overlap there. I watch both those tech channels, but I don't watch cinema.
I
Oh,
didn't even realize
YouTube.
RP and JK were fucking in the goddamn chat doing shit.
Yeah, they're just chatting away.
Huh. Well, that's all over because it's like 11:44 and I need to go to bed because I'm old and I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be sore and I'm gonna do a workout and I'm gonna be tired and I'm gonna be pissed off I stayed up and I'm like, oh shit, then I need to read and I didn't read and it's like, oh goddamn, my life's falling apart. I didn't know my 30s would be like this.
You'll live, bro.
Nah, probably not. But it's all right because guess what? Death isn't the end. It's the definitive end. So like it's 100% like it really is over, which is good because that means that you invest everything in living in this life because there isn't another one. That's it. That's all there is to it. Anybody got any closing
A
statements?
painless
Because
Painless
this has
death
been
is
a
a good
complete
death.
dumpster fire. We didn't stay on point with anything. I got distracted with gameplay. Clearly, my slideshow has the same like 6 fucking memes in it. So I got
Yeah.
a lot of work to do on that.
Yeah, I got something to say, bro. Make sure you eat plenty of fiber and drink lots of fresh water.
That's true. That's actually true. So especially for a lot of guys,
I've been generically helpful.
yeah, especially for a lot of guys who do like you, I will go keto or whatever the fuck. Get some fiber. Like fiber supplements are pretty cheap. You can get some fiber powder or something to mix whatever you got in the morning. Like maybe you want to mix with your oatmeal or whatever the fuck you do. Do that so you stay healthy.
Metamucil.
Yeah, like because you're gonna like especially as you get older, you're gonna realize that a lot of that stuff is really important, and you might not be getting all the nutrients you need from some of the stuff that you eat. So it's better to go ahead and get that going. With again, a lot like there's a lot like right now, take advantage of the fact that things are pretty, I guess, affordable in a sense, and that you can still do some shit. Like there's still some freedom and stuff. Like like let's say you want to do like a lot of little circuit design and shit like that. You can get plenty of cheap ass parts from AliExpress if you're willing to wait the time. There's plenty. You can pirate some CAD software if you need to.
Yeah, that's right. I think the longest I've ever waited for anything to come from China was weeks.
Yeah. So it's not even. I mean, you might wait like a month, but you might still be alive when it gets here. But no, whole point is there's a lot of shit to do. There's all this different stuff, and why don't you take advantage of the time while you can because there's no telling what the fucking future is gonna be like. So instead of bitching and doing all this crazy shit and spending the time on stuff that's not gonna help us at all, focus on what you can control and also try to enjoy what time you have because you don't know when it's going to be over. Whether it be collapse, enslavement, gulag, heart attack, I don't know, you have a fucking stroke or an aneurysm or some shit. Somebody decides to kill your ass. You don't know. A fucking random dog, a pack of dogs just out of nowhere rips your throat the fuck out. You know what I mean? It can happen. Shit's real. But all right, we're done.
Yep.
Bye.